Good evening. I'm sure you've heard there's a certain football match on today. Two teams about to take the field in Moscow for a nice little kickabout. Of course, it's not going to be a nice little kickabout. It's going to be a dramatic kickabout tonight because it's a World Cup semi-final, the second one of the World Cup, the second and final one. Croatia take on England for a place in the final, where they play France, who, as you know, beat Belgium dramatically last night in St. Petersburg. But we're all in the Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow to find out who will join the French, who will be waiting with bated breath. And England, to get to this stage, nobody in their wildest dreams would have expected England to be where they are now. Croatia, they played okay to get there themselves, but did they peak very soon against the Argentinians? Don't ask me what the score's going to be. I've made a superstition that I'm not going to predict the score. I'd like you guys to predict the score in the build-up tonight, because this is important. But I'm going to give you the team news first of all, and I'm going to start with England, of course, although they are the away team. Just again, so the lineup is as follows: Pickford, Walker, Stones, Maguire, Jesse Lingard, Jordan Henderson, Harry Kane, Raheem Sterling. Kieran Trippier has been a revelation. He's subject of such transfer speculation at the moment back home. Ashley Young and Dele Alli. So the England team unchanged from the last two matches. For Croatia, they have Suradic in goal, Veslenko, Strinic, Perisic, Lovren, Rakitic of Barcelona, Modric of Real Madrid, Brozovic, Mandzukic, the big striker, Rebic and Vida, who got the winning, who looked to be the winning goal in the quarterfinals against Russia, but then Russia pegged them back as well. So we are literally just 13 minutes away from kick-off here in Moscow, and this really is the biggest game in England's history since 1990, when I was just a mere 7-year-old, little tender young 7-year-old, watching with his dad, crying his eyes out when England lost on penalties. Yes, that was me. But tonight, I never dreamt that some 28 years down the line we'd be in a semi-final again, or even commentating on one. And here we are. We're just standing 90 minutes away from potentially being in the World Cup final. The French await. It was a tight game against the Belgians, and it could go either way tonight, folks. We could go to it could be over after 90 minutes tonight. It could be over after extra time, possibly. Or fearing no, and don't want to make anyone feel the worst, but it could well go to penalties again. But we have a good record in this competition of winning on a penalty competition, and we're just waiting. The referee comes from Turkey, Kunik Kakia, and what a night for him. Although my personal preference would have been someone with a bit more experience. An Italian official or a French or a German official or a Spanish official would have done the job just as well. I'm not certain about this referee. He's not one of my favourites. The VAR referee comes from Holland. That's Danny Makelele. Well, I have to also pay tribute to all you listeners out there, of course, who have joined us for the last 5 matches and got us into the 4 and a bit figure mark. It's just been a marvellous turnout from you guys. We're getting figures that we could have only dreamt of at the start of the tournament, and here we are now. And obviously the comment section open for business tonight, and I have to say the people that have been commenting have been first rate. We've had no spammers, we've had no people swearing. It's been absolutely a joy to behold, and I've wanted this for many years, and now look at the rewards we're getting. The World Cup has been fantastic for results and things like that, and as I say, it's just unbelievable. I cannot believe what we're literally there. England are just 90 minutes, tantalisingly 90 minutes away from the final, if we can get past this very difficult Croatia side. They're no slouches either, Croatia. They are a very good side. Just to make 1 or 2 points in the transfer market, as you know, Ronaldo has joined Juventus from Real Madrid, and Riyad Mahrez has gone to Manchester City for a club record £60 million. So obviously the Premier League squad's starting to take shape, although from this Burnley fan's point of view, a little bit frustrated that we've signed nobody yet, but that's for the future. And we'll just have to wait and see. What are you drinking? Can't be coffee or water. Well, it's actually coffee I'm drinking. I do have a very deep voice, and I'm very well on my neck. And is it coming on? We'll just have to wait and see after tonight, won't we? I'm just seeing Anthony Joshua on screen, and there's loads of fan parks up and down the UK at the moment. There's one in Manchester, I notice that it's looking forward to this. There they are. One in Brighton, of course, down in the Sussex south coast. Another one in Sunderland up in the northeast, and no doubt special interest on Jordan Pickford, that one as well. Croydon, just outside of London. That's they've turned out in their thousands. Hyde Park in London as well. Liverpool, Manchester, Birmingham as well, all have big screens in their respective cities. It's unbelievable, and this is what it's been building. There's a lot of England fans inside the stadium as we speak, but this is really what counts. This really is the biggest match in England's history for 28 years. We get Euro 96, this is World Cup, this is the big one, and England are just potentially 180 minutes away, touching wood, of being world champions if they can get positive results in the next two games. The tension and the atmosphere building up in Moscow as we talk to you, and this really is a joy to behold. Who would have thought it as a young 7-year-old, not knowing what to expect? England must be in the semi-finals then as a 7-year-old. 28 years later as a 35-year-old big kid and budding commentator, here we are with England on the cusp of possible greatness. Gareth Southgate becomes only the third England manager, incidentally, to lead England into a major semi-final. And let's hear from Prince William. Unfortunately, we didn't get the sound on that one, but Prince William here just wishing the boys all the very best. Of course, he's the president of the FA, the Football Association. Harry Maguire coming out into the tunnel. The England players up for this one and already out are the Croatians. Harry Kane, our captain. Luka Modric, their skipper. It's been waistcoat day in the UK, and the Gareth Southgate lookalike competition in the stand is beginning in earnest. There's the real man stepping out into the arena to the bench, and he's probably going to make a few bob out of that, the lookalike. Going himself out to children's parties and the like. But there's the real man. I'm just seeing there, about to enter the fray, knowing that his team are just purely and simply 90 minutes away from greatness, and who can blame them? And they're still waiting to come out. This really is a torturous time if you're a player, and the teams waiting to come out. Same as yesterday, says World T. If you can update us with the minutes every 5 to 10 minutes. Don't worry. I always make a point in my commentaries that the score in radio needs to be reminded to everyone every 2 to 3 minutes. So you'll be getting the time and the scoreline every 2 to 3 minutes as the teams led out by the Turkish referee come out onto the field to be received by a wall of noise here in Moscow. Wow, it's beautiful, it's a great sight, 60% humidity, 20 degrees the temperature. It's still very warm here in Moscow. The team's out into the hoo-ha of this game, and who knows what might be in store for us tonight. England just 90 minutes away from the ultimate glory, but before the match and the two lineups, or reminding you of the two lineups, let's first of all have the national anthems. Sung with great gusto. This really is amazing. And now the national anthem of England. Who thought we'd be saying that in a semi-final? Well, this is, well, we're tantalising so very, very close. This is really where it all counts at the end. And the national anthem was really sung with huge gusto. And I cannot stress enough that this really is the fine line between success and failure. A World Cup semi-final is entirely ours for the taking. Can we take it? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. But I think it's going to be an amazing game, and I think it's going to be absolutely phenomenal if England were to make it all the way to the final. I cannot wait to get started on this match. It's going to be an absolute, I'm sure it is, and I hope I don't kill the atmosphere here by saying this, but I hope it's going to be an absolute classic and England go through, because it's been a remarkable way to come through. Let's take a check on the two teams, starting with Croatia first. They are the designated home team, if you like. Sumanic in goal, then it's Vasalenko, Sturinic, Perisic, Lovren, one of the two centre-backs, Rakitic, Modric, Brozovic, Mandzukic, who is playing up front, Rebic, who can play on the left side of midfield, and Vida, the other centre-back. England unchanged from the previous two rounds. They have in goal Jordan Pickford, who's been a real hero so far. And then it's Kyle Walker, John Stones and Harry Maguire across the back. Harry Maguire, an unsung hero himself in the last round, if you may recall. And then it's Jesse Lingard, Jordan Henderson, Raheem Sterling and Kieran Trippier and Ashley Young in the midfield, or rather Dele Alli in fact. And up front, Raheem Sterling and Harry Kane. And they're going to play that five. They're going to play five in midfield, three at the back. It's served them so well. You don't change your winning formation. Gareth Southgate's philosophy: if it isn't broke, you do not fix. And he's done whatever happens tonight, and I'm sure the rest of the nation will back me up in saying this, that that the country will be proud of the lads, because they've done so well to get here. True that we haven't had to face too many European or world superpowers to get there, but we've beaten what's in front of us. We stumbled through a penalty shootout against Colombia, but this really is an opportunity. The referee tonight comes from Turkey. Kakia is the referee, Mr. Kakia. Not my first choice to be referee for a fight match of this importance, I must say, but he has been appointed by FIFA. I'd have chosen an Italian, a German or a French official, possibly over a Turkish official. But there you go. And the VAR referee is Danny Makelele. He's the main man in charge of that one. So England in white as opposed to red will kick off, and they're going to attack the goal to our left. Croatia in the dark shirts, dark shorts and red socks will attack the goal to our right, and away we go then. England tantalisingly 90 minutes away from a place in the final, and the millions will be watching on television, and I'm sure a few thousand that will be listening with us here on the JB Clark YouTube channel will be absolutely looking forward to this one. England were third favourites. They're surely going to be second favourites behind the French with the bookies. Croatia third favourites, although Croatia played really well in the group phases, but are flattered to deceived in the two knockout rounds that have preceded it. But not a bad side. When you get to the last four in any sport or any competition, there are no mugs. Zlatko Dalic is the Croatian coach, or the manager. And no, as Lovren just plays it nonchalantly, although referee from Turkey, well, he's standing no nonsense. He's having a word with Jesse Lingard. Just get on with the game. There's no need to talk to Jesse Lingard. Just get on with the game. That's what you're there to do, referee. And this just sums up my doubts about this referee. Should he be in charge of a huge match of this importance? We've criticised a few. Well, I've certainly been of the opinion that I've been very critical of the refereeing in this tournament. I'm sure you're all aware of that. There's Gareth Southgate. Steve Holland is his assistant on the left hand side as I look on the monitor. A minute and 40 gone, no goals. Just a little bit scrappy to start with. Of course, the other semi last night, as you heard, was a bit scrappy, and then it came to life in the second half. Varane putting a virtuoso, won the JB Man of the Match award last night for his defensive display, although his partner in Titi got the winning goal after 51 minutes, which put the French in the final for the first time since 2006, when they lost on penalties to Italy. Of course, it was also the day when Zinedine Zidane finished his career, I'm afraid, in disgrace, as Pickford gets the ball on his own 6-yard line, gets it away left-footed, kept a much needed clean sheet in the quarter-finals, and they beat Sweden very comfortably, as it turned out. Maguire and Harry with the goals. Well, he's still got a little bit of unfair criticism from a lot of social media. I thought he had a good game, Raheem Sterling, I have to say, as the throw comes in on the halfway line on the right hand side as we look, and a handball there deep inside the England half by Mario Mandzukic. In fact, it wasn't, it was a foul on Jordan Henderson, and a free kick to England. Coming up to 3 minutes gone, no goals. Yeah, just a little arm in there to Jordan Henderson. Free kick, nothing more. 0-0. England's back three really working the oracle in this tournament, and it's worked an absolute treat. This is Lingard now deep inside the Croatian half, in towards Ali on the edge of the area. Sure, he was taken out, and the Turkish referee agrees. It was a silly tackle there by Luka Modric. Really was silly. Went right through the back of him. Ali had the wood, and he absolutely tripped him up. There's no question about it. And England here have a situation in a very good, promising, with an absolute promise. It's about 22 yards from goal, maybe a little bit further than that, but what an opportunity. Will it be Young with the right foot or Trippier with his left? Who knows? They're the two men that have been taking all the set pieces, and certainly corners have done exceptionally well. As we cross now 4 minutes of the first half gone, and England have the first opportunity of a set play, and it's almost dead central as well, and a good 25 yards from goal. The referees again have been picking out Jesse Lingard. I don't know why he's getting mad with Jesse Lingard there. The referee's got to stop talking to players willy-nilly and just get on with trying to organise this Croatia wall and making sure it's back the full 10 yards. Ridiculous. Looks as if it's going to be Trippier with the right foot. It's looking that way. England making sure that the set piece is fully utilised. Now will it be Trippier? Well, with the right foot. Trippier! Oh, what a goal! What a goal by Trippier with his right foot! The man who had made it badly has scored for England! It's his fifth goal for England! And it's coming a World Cup semi-final with 5 minutes gone! Subotic never had a prayer! What a start for Gareth Southgate! No emotion there! Him and Steve Holland! But what a superb free kick! He never scored for Burnley in these situations, but who cares? It doesn't matter, he's done it at the most important stage. The man who in the headlines hit the headlines for transfer speculation. Will he be going to Spain, to Barcelona, or will he be going to Manchester United? Well, who knows? The way he's going in this competition, Trippier, his value is shooting up and up and up. There is emotion on the bench, but it's still early days. But what a free kick from Trippier. And England have just got the start they wanted with 5 3/4 minutes gone. Croatia 0, England 1. Kieran Trippier with a 25-yard right-footed free kick that just goes sweetly into the top right-hand corner of the net. Wow. We could not have wished for a start like that. England 1 up, and who would have thought it? An amazing start with just over 6 minutes gone. England have done it. Kieran Trippier. And Pickford gets the ball inside his area and gets a good ball out there, and look at Raheem Sterling on the chase, and a good bit of defensive work, it has to be said, by the centre-back feeder. Slid in there superbly. What a start for England. Here's Henderson round the corner, and look at Sterling again, and out comes Subotic this time inside his penalty area, just to the right of the penalty area, to take the ball cleanly here. And now Croatia now have to come out and try and attack England if they can. At the moment they don't look like doing it, but Veselenko now comes down the right hand side for the Croats. 1-0 down, 7 minutes gone, England in the lead. Kieran Trippier with a goal. A superb free kick of pure genius from Kieran Trippier, a man that was started up at Manchester City, of course. He comes from actually Rosendale in Lancashire, which is naturally not far from Burnley, where he played his trade for so many years. Started off in the youth ranks at Manchester City, then moved on to Burnley, where he became a real precocious talent under Sean Dyche. Got his move to Tottenham. Took a couple of years to get settled and established in the Spurs side, but my word, this last season just gone, and in this tournament has he flourished or what? Here comes Rakitic now for Croatia, the Barcelona man. So much talent on both sides. You can't write Croatia off yet. Crossing from the left hand side, Young has to be careful, and in fact wins, I think, a goal kick for England. I think, no, it's not. I think they're lining up for a corner. It certainly comes off Young last, and it's certainly got to be a corner, hasn't it? Indeed it is. Modric to take it. Can England just hold out? Modric who was certainly the player of the match in the Champions League final for Real Madrid back in May. Takes this corner right-footed in towards the 6-yard area, headed away. England appealing for a free kick. Nothing doing, says the referee. Mandzukic jumping inside the area. England at 6s and 7s. Ali takes it on the chest, and then England just committing Harry Carey for a second, but now Harry Kane to bring it away, trying to get Raheem Sterling on his way through the centre, but in the end Dejan Lovren of Liverpool cutting that one out. The Croats 1-0 down to the English, and again an attempt at an attack by Rakitic breaks down, and it's out for a throw into England halfway inside their own half. because we come up to 9 minutes gone. This is the free kick. Trippier, right foot over the wall. Goalkeeper hasn't got a hope. And look at Jordan. I'm just looking at Jordan Pickford there. Punching the air with absolute sheer delight. He's threatened this though for so many years. He never quite... He came so mighty close to perfecting a similar sort of free kick in his Burnley days. Don't think he ever scored a free kick for Burnley, but it doesn't matter. He scored one in a World Cup semi-final, and that's one to tell your grandkids. And I'm sure there'll be many Burnley and Tottenham fans out there, which I remember myself one, and certainly as a Burnley fan, that will be absolutely thrilled to bits. There's a free kick on Dele Alli on the halfway line, just to the left-hand side by number 2 Veselinko, and a free kick to England, who lead by a goal to 0. Wow, what a 10 minutes we've had here. Who would have thought it? And there's the replica of the World Cup being hoisted by the England fans. Well, I wonder anybody who really thought that we'd have a chance. As Lovren almost gets himself into a tangle there. Ball out on the far side. It's a throw into England. 10 yards inside the Croatian half. This is turning into a real story. But we must not get ahead of ourselves. We've only been going 10 minutes and still another 80 minutes plus stoppage time left. And if we can just hold on and hold on and hold on, who knows what might happen. Never ever did we envisage this in a million years. Maguire does well there, good confidence shown, and then plays a 1-2 with Young. Now Maguire, first touch a little heavy, but the clearance was okay, but Rakitic has won the ball. And then coolness personified by Kyle Walker to find Jordan Henderson in his own half. That was risky, but it paid off for England. Young now towards Dele Alli. Good turn from Ali, who really does look bang up for it tonight. And England are claiming the corner, and I think they've got it. Although Jordan Henderson making the feelings perfectly clear. Is he giving a free kick here? Well, in fact, it's a free kick. Well, to me, that's a corner. If he's giving, well, yes, he's got the right decision on the end. I think that's the right decision from the Turkish referee. It would have been an uproar if we'd have got only a free kick out of that. But what he does do is give Ashley Young, who set up the goal for Harry Maguire on Saturday, a chance here to put one of his brilliant set pieces into operation again with his right foot. We played 11.5 minutes of the first half. We're 1 up. How much of a fill it would it be for a second? Young swings that ball into the 6-yard box, and Maguire again going for that one. And in fact, I think he bundled into his man and has conceded a 3 kick to Croatia. But again, a wonderful pinpoint corner from the left-hand side. And look at the England players, always one in a line. Ali, Sterling, Maguire, Stones and Kane, all going for that simultaneously. And the Croats don't know who to pick up as Rebic concedes a throw-in. Well, could you imagine this now? 12 minutes on the clock, England 1 up, and dare I say it, looking very, very comfortable. As the ball is threaded back to Kyle Walker, who, well, comfortably headed it back to Jordan Pickford. And that's the sort of confidence that England have got at the moment. It really makes a difference when you get the early goal, what confidence it brings to a team. And England at the moment on course to do just that. And they've won a throw 10 yards inside the Croatian half. They are playing with such vigour and such confidence. 1-0 to England. We're coming up towards 13 minutes of the first half. Will T says so much talent on a very young side. I couldn't agree more. Here's Dele Alli picking it up now deep inside the area. Now Trippier with a low cross hits the defender. It will go for an England corner. Came off the number 4 Perisic, and it will be a corner now to England with just over 13 minutes gone of the first half. 1-0 England lead. Now it's Trippier's turn to put in a corner kick routine. Well, he's already got 1 goal to his credit. He'd love an assist to Trippier. He certainly would. And again, the big men up from the back. Stones, Maguire, Kane, Ali, all waiting in there. Sterling, look at I'm just looking at the line. It's almost like a bus queue waiting in the area. And Croatia don't know who to pick up. And Maguire won the header again. Far the penalty left at a penalty spot, and he headed it just wide of the far right-hand post. If that's on target, that's 2-0 to England. It's a wonderful corner there from Trippier, and if that's on target, that goes in the corner for me. England in complete control, and the Croats looking absolutely shaky from these set pieces that England are putting in right now. They just don't know who to mark up at the moment. They really don't, the Croats, and that's going to be the real problem now that they're going to have throughout the next sort of 75 minutes or so, because they just look a bit shaky in defence, and the free kick has really knocked them sideways as Croatia come charging forward. And if, now what they're giving here, the referee, he's giving a free kick to Croatia, but it's pushing and shoving according to him. 14.5 minutes gone. It's Kyle Walker, I think, who's been penalised, and it's a free kick on the left hand side, about 20 yards inside the English half. And now Veselinko now for the Croats in those dark shirts comes charging forward once again, and again good defensive there, good defensive work there. Mandzukic is a big powerful man, and I think the back three of England will fancy that as well. There's Vida as well, who's, as we saw in the quarter-finals against Russia, is a real deadly finisher from set plays as well. So England have got to be wary of the Croat set piece. They've got good set piece specialists as well, so we can't really get too far ahead of ourselves. Quarter of an hour gone then in Moscow at the Luzhniki Stadium. It's Croatia 0, England 1. A goal early on from Kieran Trippier, free kick, and whilst I was giving you the scoreline, Vajilenko has tripped Harry Kane on the near side on the halfway, and a free kick to England, who lead of course by that Kieran Trippier goal to 0. And all Burnley fans and all Tottenham fans everywhere will be absolutely on their feet. And I must admit, I had a little tear in my eye when he struck that free kick. Kieran Trippier. Now be honest, anyone who had him down as first goal scorer, you'd probably got about him about 30 to 1, 32, 33 to 1 if you were lucky. So much talent out there on the field, and that's no disrespect to Trippier. Here's Henderson now deep inside the Croatian half on the right hand side. Here's Trippier, the man in the moment. Back to Henderson, little chip in towards the penalty area, too close to Subasic, who claims it by the penalty spot, just to the right of the penalty spot as I look, and he rolls the ball out straight away to Vida, who gets Veselinko going on this near side. Veselinko looking for options and such like. 16.5 minutes gone. England 1 up. This is that's Rebic, in fact, on the near side, the man who scored the goal. Kevin is on. Kevin, nice to see you for all the way from New Zealand. Crystal Palace fan, one of my regulars. Even Palace fans. Well, yes, indeed, Kevin. All the way from Australia and New Zealand. I think it's New Zealand, correct me if I'm wrong, but he came onto this channel for the Euros 2 years ago, and has been a very loyal supporter of the channel since then, and we appreciate his support as Croatia tried to build something here with Mandzukic. Edge of the area, finds Rakitic. Rakitic now has got support on the far side. This is Perisic. Perisic now running at 2 England defenders. Now Rakitic, he can make something happen. In Barcelona, player of his own making, he tries to play, switch it from left to right to find Vajilenko, but he can't find the number 2 on the near side, and it's out for a throw-in with England in line with their own penalty area, edge of their own penalty area. Gareth Southgate watches on impassively. Well, let's be fair, beyond our wildest dreams did we expect England to be in front at this stage of the semi-final, but as I say, there's still a long way to go, and we must not rest on our laurels just yet. There's still a long way to go. Croatia are not a bad team. When you get to the last 4, as I said at the start, there are no mugs. You have to play at the top of your game to win football matches. That's what the French had to do. They didn't have to play pretty. They had to try and keep the Belgians at bay if they could, and they did that to the letter. Varane and Umtiti had superb matches last night, and Chris Whiteman is to be believed. They had super games as the shot comes in and just wide from Perisic on his right foot. He's claiming the corner and he's surrounding the Turkish referee. I don't think it deflected one iota. Gets it onto the right foot. There's the shot. Oh, it did actually. Deflected off Kyle Walker. I think that was going in. I think Perisic may have had a point. I didn't think it deflected at first, but yeah, I'm just looking at the replay, and I think that did deflect off Kyle Walker. I think Perisic might have had a point. 1-0 still to England, coming up to 19 minutes of the first half gone. Here's Ashley Young. England have a throw in about 5 yards from halfway on the left-hand side. And inside as I look. Young back to Harry Maguire, who's had such a great tournament so far. Oh, a little bit of a panicky touch there from the goalkeeper Pickford, but his second touch was a bit more secure and a bit more assured. And now England have it on the right-hand side. Sterling tangling with Vida. And Sterling wants a free kick. Turkish referee's not for budging here. And in fact, a throw-in has been given to Croatia. It looks like it looked like an England ball to me over on that far side. Trippier's down on his haunches there. Been in the walls a bit there. In fact, that should be a free kick to England. Well, I'm very disgusted with the referee now for the linesman for not picking that one up. I think that should be a free kick to England. Certainly Trippier was fouled there for me. And I think this is why I didn't agree with the Turkish appointment of the Turkish referee in the first place. Bit of a bad touch though for Harry Maguire. Puts a chance in now for Rebic. And Rebic's shot was charged down by John Stones, who's really come of age of this tournament. He's already got 2 goals. He scored both of them in the win over Panama, the 6-1 win. England's run to the final thus far. 2-1 against Tunisia in a nail-biting first match, and then 6-1 against Panama. Both those games we covered live, and we didn't cover the Belgian game. It was a bit of a dead rubber and it was a poor match, and Belgium were entitled to win 1-0 in the end because both teams have made 6 changes. It wasn't a pretty game as the cross comes in by Vazelenko down the right, but it's again a good blanket defence by England. And that's a foul there by Harry Kane, surely. Well, there's going to be a question here. Well, Lovren should be going in the book for dissent. Not only the challenge was poor, but I think the referee should be having a look here at 1 or 2 of the Croats. Their behaviour has been disgusting in the first half, one has to say. 20 minutes gone here, 1-0 to England. Or 21 minutes gone now. Kane taking it on the chest, and there's no doubt Lovren's not going for the ball at all. He knew exactly what he was doing. He went to push Harry Kane. Now, if there was a better quality referee out there, the yellow card for me should be coming out. This is why I was a bit annoyed that we had a Turkish referee in charge. Yes, he's given a couple of correct decisions, but he's given 1 or 2 bad ones as well. And the ball back to Subotic. The free kick just a little bit wasted by England, but they can give it away quite cheaply. And Sterling is in there. Kane is onside. Or is he off? He's offside. He put the ball into the back of the net, but I think he was about a yard off as Sterling played him in. But it was a poor bit of play here from the Croats. And Sterling, well, in fact, he was probably more than a couple of yards off. I think he was about 4 or 5. In fact, he missed it, in fact. And well, that's probably saved him a bit of embarrassment there. But he's still the top scorer, coincidentally, with 6 goals. Kevin says Croats are starting to get a little bit cynical. I wasn't happy with some of the play acting in the game last night. Mbappe was accused of play acting, certainly from Chris, as the shot comes in from 25 yards out. Perisic with his right foot just to the left of the penalty area for about 25 yards, just shooting wide of the near post of Jordan Pickford, or Jordan Pickford's right hand post. Goal kick, and Pickford making it clear in no uncertain terms they're going to need to be a bit tighter and be wakey a little bit. Nevertheless, it's a goal kick to England, winning 1-0 as we come up towards the halfway mark of the first half. 23 minutes almost have elapsed here, and here's Rakitic inside the centre circle, but he loses it on halfway line. And now England try to come forward, but then Lovren cuts that one out, the Liverpool man. And now the ball on the halfway line, and forward it went, and Perisic's lost it, and now is a chance for Sterling to run at these correct defenders, and he'll run, and he just slipped down as he got the ball back. That was a good enterprising run. I don't know why people are criticising Raheem Sterling. He had a decent match on Saturday, and he's certainly doing well. I think he's been a little bit unlucky. I know he missed a couple of opportunities, but it's easy to sit in an armchair and criticise. But let's be fair, there's a free kick against number 3 Strinic on Trippier on the far side, and a free kick to England level with their own penalty area, edge of their own penalty area. I mean, people can sit in armchairs and make and make critical comments about certain players. There was nothing wrong with the effort of Sterling. I think he's been a lot better all-rounder player since 2 years ago than the Iceland debacle. There's no doubt about that. And Southgate has freed the shackles, has got rid of the deadwood, the likes of Rooney and Joe Hart and all that, and has blended an England squad together. And this England squad now is such a good blend that that if they get on their mettle here, they could be in for a second one here as Sterling makes one of those. Well, Wingard Rover makes one of those runs, just plays it behind Dele Alli, and the ball will run, or be kept in fact, by Modric of Tottenham, or formerly of Tottenham. Now then, here's Rebic now on the right hand side. Rebic playing a first time ball with no great due care and attention on it. He was looking for Mandzukic, but it was a poor cross from the right hand side, and Mandzukic would have had to have been Superman to get on the end of that one, and it was straight in the end into the arms, the grateful arms of Jordan Pickford. As we now tick towards 25 minutes gone, England still leading by that goal to nil, a goal scored by Trippier in the 6th minute of the contest. Remember, the winners will play France in Sunday's final. The losers don't necessarily go out of the World Cup per se, because they do have a third place match to play on Saturday against Belgium, and that's another match you can hear on the JB Court YouTube channel, and of course that'll be with Chris Whiteman. And of course on Sunday again around about 22 quarter to 4 in the afternoon, we'll have the full match. We'll have full match commentary live of the final. France are definitely there. England has been stand looking to be there as well, as the cross comes in on the far side from Perisic, but it's easily cut out. Now Sterling on the chase down the right hand side, and he's got there against Lovren, former colleagues at Liverpool of course. This is Sterling. Surely he was tripped there by Lovren, who surely now must be in the book for persistent fouling. The Turkish referee's got to start getting his cards out, because this was just ridiculous. Sterling has it on the left hand side. There's no danger here for the Croats, and Lovren's just tempted in. To me now, he's made 3 or 4 foul tackles, and 1 or 2 of them have been rather crude, and I think he should be in the book, the Liverpool man. I really do. How he's not in the book beats me, quite honestly. But England have a free kick on the left hand side, about 30 yards maybe from goal, and the angle is just perfect for Ashley Young to float that in with his right foot into the penalty area. Stones, Maguire, Henderson, Kane at the back post, Sterling all in the penalty area as Young takes that, and Modric didn't look as if he was 10 yards away as that free kick was floated in. A good fist away by the goalkeeper. It's an English throw in line with the Croatian 6-yard line, and it's going to be Trippier to take it. John Stones leaving it to him. 27 minutes gone, England 1-0 ahead. Can we hang on in there and get to half time? No breach, no problems, no nothing at the moment. It's been an unbelievable match so far. This World Cup has really surprised one. We had no expectation. Pickford there kicks away. He was under pressure, but he slipped as he kicked. He got it over halfway line to his internal credit, and then a free kick has been given to Croatia. I don't know why. There didn't seem to be any infringements to me. I think the referee's been a little bit too picky. Can I just make something clear to you, Nanu Chowdhury? We cannot watch any of this on YouTube, because if we do, we get a copyright strike from FIFA. So this is why it's an audio commentary. Read the title before coming on, but and the comment section is to talk about the first half. If you want to watch the match and listen to the commentary, then fair dues, but please, I cannot show any of the match, because my channel will be blacklisted, and I don't want my channel blacklisted. I've built it up over the last 4 or 5 years, and I'm not taking the risk. Anyway, throw into England, 10 yards from halfway in inside their own area, taken by Trippier, flicked on by Kane to Sterling on the right hand side. Now, he's supported a bit Ryan Sterling. He's faced by 3 or 4 players. Sterling, though, to his internal credit, keeps the ball well. The plays a little 1-2 there off Jesse Lingard. Now Henderson has it. Now it's just nice and simple now Nice and simple playing. And back to Young. Just touch a little heavy, but that's out of play. And that'll be an England throw. 15 yards inside the Croatian half on the left-hand side. 29 minutes gone. Croatia 0, England 1. And the listening figures for this tournament have been beyond anybody's wildest dreams. Here's Dele Alli deep inside the England territory. Lingard on the edge of the area. Back inside. Harry Kane with a chance. Harry Kane should have scored. Kane again. Kane shoots off the line. And he's somehow stayed in play. Can you believe that? Harry Kane of all people. The flagging factor's gone up anyway. But Harry Kane should have scored there for me. Well, was he onside? Well, he looked onside to me. Well, he should have scored there. That's the first thing. And then the second time there, I don't know where the offside came from. The flag was very, very late. If it was, he in fact hit the outside of the post, in fact, and it ricocheted off the keeper. But if he's flagged offside there, the Turkish referee, then I'm very, very sorry. It's the wrong decision because he was level. It should have been. We had a chance there, and well, this is why I was very, very bemused while we've got Turkish officials. I'm afraid they're not delighting me so far with their performance. 1-0 still to England. We've had half an hour. 15 to go to the break. Tradiator RJ, great commentary. I'm watching on Brazilian Internet TV Global, but listening to you in sync. Well, thank you very much indeed. But just to remind everyone who's tuned in late, half an hour we've been playing, and Trippier's goal after 5 minutes has given England a much-deserved lead against the Croatian side that really haven't strung two passes together so far in this match. Ball played in there by Veselenko, cut out by Alli, but now here's Modric. And England can't afford to slide in and bring him down. Modric has had to go back to the right-hand flank, and there's Rebic with a first-time crossing there, and a good tackle there by Stones. And Rebic with a shot back in from the right of the area, and it was well fielded there by Jordan Pickford. Very assured handling, but that's the first time we've seen the Croats explode as an attacking force. And I'll tell you what, if that had gone in, there'd have been uproar back in England about this, because certainly Harry Kane was not offside at the other end of the field. But it doesn't matter. It's still 1-0 England. And here's Sterling again fighting with Vida on the edge of the area. I think that's going to be a running battle throughout the course of the game. But I've not been impressed by the Turkish officials, the referee and the two assistants. Very much indeed. I think they've been poor so far. The only good decision they made was to give the free kick. They haven't booked Lawford for persistent fouling, which I think they should have done. And Pickford's in trouble. In fact, he's been fouled there. And surely the referee's got to show a card here. Rebic went flying into him. Look at that. That's ridiculous. Rebic should be in the book. It's ridiculous. The Turkish referee needs to start, if he's going to, he needs to start brandishing the Croats some cards here and get him more disciplined. This should never have been offside in the first place. Although good save from the goalkeeper. Kane then had the chance. The angle died on him a little bit. Went for the near post. Hit the near post. It comes off the goalkeeper. And does this go out of play? Well, that should have been an English corner then. How on earth can the linesman, about 12 seconds after the ball was played through and he was onside, decree that was offside? I find that very hard to understand. England still leading though with 32.5 minutes gone. And here come the Croats. And it's Perisic now forward and a decent cross now. Rebic might get in there, but a great tackle there by Ashley Young. Got his foot in before Rebic could line up the shot or wind up the shot with his right foot. And look at that, good left foot. If he's got there, that's a great tackle. If he hasn't, he's done a good off-putting job, but it is a corner taken quickly. England weren't ready for that. There's the cross from the far near side, and there's a bit of pushing and shoving going on. A free kick to England. Free kick to England. For one horrible minute, it was going to point to the spot. There was a foul there by Perisic inside the area, and it is a free kick to England, to the vast relief of everybody in the nation. In fact, it was Mandzukic on Stones, in fact. Well, 33.5 minutes gone in Moscow. Croatia 0, England 1. This has been unbelievable. Stephen Mogongo, nice to join you. The mark of Kane. At the moment, he's still on 6 goals for the tournament. Still far and away the leading goal scorer in the tournament. And he's still very much on favourite with the bookies to win the Golden Boot, although he could do with one tonight. But it's good to see goals coming from other players as well as Harry Kane. A lot of people were saying, a lot of experts were saying we're going to rely heavily on Harry Kane. Certainly was in the opening rounds, but certainly in the last two, certainly in the quarter-final and tonight, they've relied other ways as well. Trippier's chipped in with one, Maguire's chipped in with one, Lingard has scored in one of the earlier matches. So there has been goals from elsewhere on the field. This is Trippier, the scorer of the goal, only go after 5 minutes, chipping the ball in, away by Vida. Vida gets it forward and he finds Strinic. Strinic gets that one over the halfway line. And then the ball back by Walker to Jordan Pickford. And Pickford now. There'll be a lot of people in Sunderland watching his progress. Of course, brought up in those parts. Playing in a Sunderland side that got relegated. Playing in a very lacklustre Everton side that conceded over 50 goals. But he's playing with an insured confidence. And this is Dele Alli inside the penalty area. Pull back. Lingard on the edge. Lingard tries to knock it in. And just wide. Just wide of the right hand post. And a goal kick to Croatia. Good effort from Lingard. Really good break from Kane first of all. Then Ali takes possession just to the left of the area. Pulls it out to the edge of the penalty area. Inside the D, in fact, Jesse Lingard. A man usually for the big occasion. Manchester United fans will testify. Scored in many a Wembley final and the semi-final before. Came perilously close to making it 2-0 to England. But it remains 1-0 with inside the last 10 minutes of the first half. This is Dele Alli to John Stones, now back to Jordan Pickford. Edge of his own 6-yard box. Gets a decent clearance, almost towards halfway. And now Walker's got to read this one well. Walker does well and keeps it in play. Really good play. Trippier now on to Henderson. Henderson back to Trippier. Trippier, what confidence England are showing in their passing as well. And look at Sterling on his way again. And Vida had to get across there and concede a throw level with the penalty area of Croatia. This is brilliant. Kevin says 6:30 a.m. down under in New Zealand and just poured a nail to calm the nerves. Obviously not going to work today. And Absolutely Anonymous says my nerves are going through the roof right now. Hope any England fan are copying. Well, I'm commentating and I'm getting nervous. Here's Sterling inside the penalty area. Dele Alli was there as an outlet. It break to Trippier on the far side. His cross was not taken up by anyone there. Gambling inside the 6-yard box. And out of play for a throw into Croatia in line with their own 6-yard area. Wow. How's your nerves? There's a lot of dismal looking Croats there. It's hard to sympathise with them now, considering England are playing at night now, and I don't mean to be biased in the commentary, but I am a proud Englishman, and these opportunities don't come around too often. 52 years since we were last in a major tournament final, and at the moment as things stand, if it remains this way, England will be going to the final for the first time since Saturday, July the 30th, 1966. And these lads know they know the history, but Gareth Southgate has really set the tone from the word go, hasn't he, in this tournament? You're there from the off, and you're there to create your own history as the ball is threaded down the far side, but can't be kept in by Jesse Lingard, and a goal kick to Croatia. Ian Wipeout's on tonight. Come on, England. Absolutely Anonymous says, I want Trippier at United. Best performer at the World Cup for me. The guy has it all. Well, I think he's a lot of interest at the moment. The newspapers are to be believed. I mean, I wouldn't mind him back at Burnley, but I think he's become too big for Burnley, quite frankly. As much as I'd love to see Trippier back in a Burnley shirt, I don't think that's realistically going to happen. He's been playing too well for Tottenham and for England. I think only bigger and better clubs await for him, and I for one, as a Burnley fan, and I number myself a Burnley fan, that's a pleasing aspect really, that a player can leave the Burnley and go on to fantastic and better things. And Trippier always had the quality when he was at Turf Moor to do great things, and given the chance he would do them. And he had to fight the first 2 years at Tottenham to get into the side, but Pochettino showed faith in him and repaid him tenfold with some terrific performances in the Premier League and FA Cup as well, and the Champions League as well. Funnily enough, he had a good competition, even though Spurs fell out at the round of 16 stage this time around. Modric, who's won it with Real Madrid, plays that ball in towards Vazilenko. His cross is deflected. Again, John Stones winning a header, and Henderson booted it away. John Stones of Manchester City and Jordan Henderson of Liverpool just making sure that the Croats don't go too far. 39.5 minutes almost gone. Croatia 0, England 1. Coming up towards the last 5 minutes of the first half. A well contested first half, a well balanced first half for England. The performance has been red hot, but can they hold it out until half time? That's the next acid test for Gareth Southgate's troops. They've played to a man superb. But here's Vazilenko. He's got a lot of space there on the right hand side, which is a little bit worrying. Now Rebic, but he won't be shrugged off by Harry Maguire. Rebic goes down half-heartedly looking for a free kick, which was never going to be awarded in a month of Sundays. Rebic told to get to his feet, quite rightly so. GTA 5 says, I'm a Burnley fan, bro. Well, I'm not your brother, but yeah, mate will do, but that's fine. Now Harry Maguire's getting a speaking to here from the Turkish referee. He needs to start having a word. This is the tackle. This is ridiculous. Some of the fouls that the Croats have put in. This latest one there from Rebic was just ridiculous. There is frustration there, but that's what England want. They want the Croats to feel frustrated, but the referee needs to start taking stronger action against them. Consistently start booking players. I think Lovren should have been booked for a start. This is why I disagree with FIFA's ruling of giving referees like him a chance. I'm not trying to belittle him by any means, but the best French, the best Italian official, the best German official would have sufficed for me, not a Turkish official. For Croatia, we're just under the we've got about 4 minutes to go in the first half, plus stoppage time. I doubt there'll be too much of that. Croatia 0, England 1. And I'm not saying those three immortal words just yet. It's tempting. Romanek says, do you think the ref's been unfair? I don't think it's been unfair. I just think some of the Croatia challenges have bordered on the ridiculously crude, and I think he should be taking stronger action. As Pickford with the kick away right-footed, his chest control was a little heavy, although the pass back was quite hit with a lot of ferocity, which caused one or two troubles there for Pickford, but he was okay with that. The ball back up the other end with the other goalkeeper. As I said, I think the referee has been okay, but certainly Lovren should have been in the book. Rebic should have been in the book. Some of the challenges are bordered on stupidity by the Croats, and the referee is not applying the letter of the law correctly. Now Croatia, interestingly, have had more possession and completed more passes than England, 142 to 119. But England, tellingly, have completed the more kilometres, 48.83 to Croatia's 46 kilometres. So that tells you a little bit of a false tale, really. But the important stat is 1-0 to England, and that's in goals. The GTA 5 thinks that England are bad and are going to lose. Well, I'm not sure about that. I think the Croats have done enough for me in the first half, really, as that shot comes in from about 40 yards from Vazilenko. He's right back by trade, hit it with his right foot, and it was a typical right foot effort that's gone sailing into row Z. And the top tier of the stand here in Moscow, and behind for a goal kick. So we're now 2 minutes away from the half-time, and we're smashing it. But I'm not bound to swear, by the way. It is a family show. But 2 minutes to go to half-time. England 1-0 ahead. And just to remind everyone, just to spake off for a second, because England are on the attack here with Raheem Sterling, edge of the area. Good tackle there. Good tackling back there by Ivan Rakitic of Barcelona. Doing some good defensive work there for the Croats. At half time we'll be taking a 5 to 10 minute break, because I obviously need to calm down. We've got no Chris Whiteman with us to present, so it's me doing both duties tonight, commentating and obviously trying to link as best I can. But I do tend to take 10 minutes when I'm doing it solo. Chris will be back with us, by the way, on Saturday for commentary of the third place playoff, which may still yet involve England. It may well, as things stand, involve Croatia. which means more for him when it comes to pronouncing these names. I know how he feels when he had to do it the other night with a croaky voice against the Russians, who are just as difficult to pronounce as I found out on the opening day of the tournament, as I covered their 5-0 win over Saudi Arabia. Inside the last minute then, England have a throw in line with the penalty area on the left hand side. Come on, Scotland. They're not there at the tournament. Then they might be in the next European Championships, who knows. But England on the possession, and it's Kane now threading it out to the far side. Trippier now keeps it in, and just all we've got to do is play common sense football here, England. Not do anything stupid, no loose passes, nothing stupid, no being forced into anything daft by the Croats, because that's what they want. Oh, Walker again, almost throwing his goalkeeper down the river. Now Croatia could be in here for business. There's a chance inside the area. Walker's got to not slide in there and take chances, and he just about got away with it. And then Stones just boots it out of play halfway inside the area, halfway inside the half for a throw-in. That could have been catastrophic for England. Kyle Walker there, a little bit brainless there from the England centre-back. Well, now playing time added on, and there's a foul on the far side. We're only playing the 1 minute, by the way, and the referee from Turkey needs to get a grip on this. It's been very conservative, and well, he's letting. Well, this is the foul against Trippier. Well, if anything, I think he's made a bit of a meal of it there, the Croatian number 3, Strinic. Trippier's just standing his ground. He's gone down a bit too easily as well for my liking. But it's a free kick to England, to Croatia, and it's going to be Modric to take it from the far side. And the Turkish referee now, just let the game go. Just get your whistle in your mouth and get playing again. I'm getting fed up with this referee. There's a Croatian player gone down there, and there's no foul, by the way. The shot comes in, and it'll come here from Modric on the far side. And still Modric, good effort, but it's charged down by Ali, and now Sterling, and now they've just got to bring it out, and there goes the half-time whistle. We played 10 seconds incidentally over the 45 minutes, over the extra minute. And what a first half for England. Could not have gone better. And now the Croats are appealing furiously that they should have had a penalty. I don't think I've got much sympathy with them. They've been on the extreme, and in Dejan Lovren's case, he's got to watch his mouth, because in my opinion he should have been booked. Now let's have a look at it again. Was there a case here for VAR? Well, you know, I'm not so sure. Well, they referred it to VAR, I think, and the referee looks as if he's walking off the field. And England still will going with a 1-0 lead. If they have to come out and bring it out again, I'd be absolutely frustrated. But everything is okay at the moment. No VAR, no penalty required. So England 1 up at half time. Nicky Hardy, good evening to you, mate. It's coming home, it's coming home. Well, I'm not going to say the words, but we're 45 minutes away, Nicky, from a final that could well be. These are the reactions I'm just seeing back home. Hyde Park, the champagne and the beer is fine everywhere at the moment. Can you believe that? Fantastic there at the moment. That's the scene. Kieran Trippier's 5th minute goal separates the two teams, and England stand just 45 minutes between themselves and a place in the final. And I will answer your question in a moment, in 10 minutes, Kevin, because I need to take a lie down, and we'll be back with full second half commentary in about 5 to 10 minutes time. Well, after that first half, I think it's time we all get to the fridge, got ourselves a beer and had a break. Welcome back to the Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow. We're waiting for the return of the two teams, but really has been a terrific first 45 minutes for England. And well, fantastic. And Kevin giving us the ultimate praise. My sync working fine, and would rather listen to me than an unconventional style commentators at the moment. He lives over in New Zealand. I was going to say BBC and ITV, but who needs the BBC or ITV when you've got the JB Clark YouTube channel? And fantastic performance from England. I have to say the Croats have been second best. I think some of the Croats who are out on the field now, just ready to start the second half. England just entering the field now, 45 minutes away, dare I say it, from a place in the final, which you can hear with me on Sunday. Let's hope England are involved in it. It's Kieran Trippier's 5th-minute goal that's dividing the two teams, and as things stand, it could well be the one that takes England through to the final. And if it is, wow. Gareth Southgate and Steve Holland planning for the next 45. Can they hold us firm? Dalic, the Croatian coach, looks on. The losers, it's third place. The final, but the winners await. The French await in Moscow as Jack Butland heads off the field. No doubt getting Jordan Pickford a bit of advice and a bit of encouragement for this next 45 minutes. Him and Nick Pope have had to watch on, but I have to say Jordan Pickford's enhanced his brilliant reputation. So too tonight is Kieran Trippier as we get underway. It's Croatia in the dark shirts. They've already won a free kick, incidentally, a foul there by Sterling and Modric. And it's going to be, as I said, Croatia in those black shorts, or dark blue shorts, I should say, and dark blue shirts and red socks. They're going to attack the goal to our left. England all in white, attacking the goal to our right. And so hopeful for Gareth Southgate, says Kevin, a great Palace man. Yes, he was. He started his career actually at Crystal Palace, alongside the likes of Mark Brighton, Ian Wright and all those type of people. But here is Strinic now for Croatia, but again good defending again, and belted away with great ferocity there, almost 3/4 of the way up the field. So just to confirm the two teams, Subasic, who's got possession now, is in goal. Veseletsko, Strinic, Perisic, Lovren, Rakitic, Modric, Bronzovic, Mandzukic, the man up front, Rebic on the left, and Vida, the other centre back. That's their 11. England will change the course. Pickford in goal, Walker, Stones, Maguire the back three, and then you've got Henderson as that ball is threaded in, and will complete the England line up in the second. That's a foul there on Trippier. High foot up there, my number 18, Rebic, and a free kick to England. As I said, Pickford in goal, and then it's Kyle Walker, John Stones, Harry Maguire along the back. So a back three is, you know, it has been the case for England. And then you've got Young on the left, Trippier on the right. He's scored the goal, incidentally, Trippier, after 5 minutes. And then in the middle you've got Dele Alli. Jordan Henderson is very central, and Jesse Lingard. And up front you've got Mr. Sterling, whose pace is killing the Croats at the moment, and he's made some great runs, some great darty runs. Another free kick has been given this time to England, and the yellow card about time coming out for one of the Croats. Well, it's only taken the referee about 47 minutes to actually get his book out, and it's Rebic, who should have actually been booked in the first half. It's a foul there on Kyle Walker, and it was a silly, senseless one to bring in there. Caught him right on the face. And Rebic, who bordered on the dangerous against Argentina in the first half, you may remember, some 2-3 weeks ago. Well, unfortunately for him, he's got his just desserts. Because and they're still arguing that Mandzukic, he needs to keep his mouth closed as well. It's a yellow card, and I have to say some of the Croat players, it's been unbelievable. Meanwhile, a free kick to England, and they deservedly lead. There's no doubt about that. Remember, Chris has to call on the third place match, regardless if England get into that match or not. Let's hope they don't. I will have the final, regardless who plays France in the final, and that will be on Sunday. Third place match on Saturday, and then we could conclude our season with the World Cup final. Will we be concluding it, calling England home and saying those immortal words, England are going to win the World Cup? It's a long way to go yet. It's a long way to go. But at the moment it's 1-0 to England. That 5th minute goal proving decisive at the moment. But there's still a long way to go in this match. There's still a bit of time, still quite a long time for Croatia to try and get back into this game. But England have just got to play sensibly, not give anything away, not give too much away. And if they do that, then surely England will be home and dry and looking at a place in the final on Sunday. And no one, and I tell you what, when I started this World Cup coverage back 3 weeks ago, who would have thought it, eh? England so close to a final. They deserve the lead. And now they're so close. 45 minutes they stand, plus stoppage time of course, away from a place in the final. You couldn't write the script for all this. You really couldn't. But that's the way of the world at this far. This final is really, this semi-final has really lived up to all the hype and expectations. But England have been superb, and now the ball back to Pickford. Nothing really happening so far in terms of goalmouth activity, but I'll give you the England side just to remind you. I've given the Croatia side. It's Pickford, Walker, Stones, Maguire, Lingard, Henderson, Kane, Sterling, Trippier, Young and Dele Alli. And the referee is Mr. Kekia of Turkey, taking charge of a semi-final. And questions would be asked about his appointment. The VAR referee from Holland, Danny Makelele, so far hasn't been using it significantly. I know they did check it with VAR, and VAR did tend to side on the Turkish referee, who for once got the decision right. And Walker doing terrifically well, putting off Rebic and winning a goal kick. Well done, Kyle Walker. That was a dangerous little run by Rebic on the left hand side. As we see that foul again, it was a yellow card, just about deserved. Rebic has been fouling persistently all match, and in actual fact it wasn't him who picked up the yellow card. In fact, it was Mario Mandzukic of all people, presumably for talking out of turn of the referee. So it wasn't Rebic as we first thought. Well, because FIFA have confirmed it, it's Mario Mandzukic, which is a surprise to me, and I'm sure it's a surprise to you. No foul there on Harry Kane. It did look a foul to me, but the referee playing on. But look at Maguire in there straight away, and look at him bustling forward. But he knew, Kane knew it was a good ball forward, but Kane was at least 10 yards offside, and he couldn't touch the ball in that respect, because he would have become active if he had touched the ball. So there was no point in him doing that, to be quite honest with you. 52 minutes almost gone, and this really is the stuff of dreams for England, if you want to put it mildly, because what we're seeing here at the moment has been, quite frankly, it's been an amazing turn of events. There are so many England fans in fan parks around back in the UK, Birmingham, Manchester, London, Liverpool, Leeds, Sunderland, Newcastle, Bristol, Croydon. The list is endless, really. And back in the Royal Dutch in Burnley, I hope if I can hear them, they'll be listening on all the pubs in Burnley. Well, I've sunk a few points at half time in tribute to Mr. Trippier as that ball comes in towards the far post, but and away from the grass with Perisic by the cross there. Meant for him, I think, and it was just too well hit from the far side by Rebic. So just to confirm, it was Mario Mandzukic for speaking out of line to the referee. I've got the booking. I'm not the man who should have had the booking, and that's Rebic. So look into that, if you will. This is Kane on the far side now, faced by Lovren, who's another one that should be in the referee's notepad. And he was bundled to the ground there quite conclusively there, and the referee, not 10 yards away, tells Kane to get up. That was a very crude challenge, and the referee should have given a free kick to England. Absolutely disgraceful from the referee again. That looked a nailed on free kick on the far side, and the referee is absolutely gone down again in my estimation. That's a clear foul. Look at him. He's absolutely polished him out, the number 2 there, Fezelenko. That, in my opinion, is a free kick. And the referee, I'm afraid to say, has made some poor decisions already. It's just... It really does defy belief when you have a man of him, like him, refereeing a semi-final of huge importance, and he's not getting the big decisions right. Why did FIFA insist on using referees that are not used to the pace of the game? And UEFA could be said, it could easily be said about UEFA as well. They just don't use the best officials for the biggest games. And now, oh, Perisic getting involved with Walker. And I'll be very surprised if Walker's booked, you know, he's out of the final. And that is disgraceful. Walker misses the final. For what? Absolutely nothing. No, he's not. I don't think he's out of the final. It's a booking. I think well, he's not out of the final. But it's a silly yellow card for the referee to give, because Kyle Walker did nothing wrong there. If anyone should have been booked, it was Perisic, the number 4. Disgraceful. The referee's absolutely lost it for me. And England now... Well, in fact, Kyle Walker has been confirmed as a booking. I thought he had a yellow card from a previous game. It must have been wiped out before the semi-finals. But it is a corner. We'll have to look into that in the next day or so if England do make the final. There's a free kick there, and that's the first decision I think the Turkish refs got right in the second half. Foul on Maguire, but that was never a yellow card offence. I'm sorry to say that. If anyone should be in the book, it's Dejan Lovren, and the number 4 Perisic. He caused the whole thing. Kyle Walker had just literally tried to retrieve the ball. Yeah, he might have been taking his time, but he's entitled to do that within reason. But I think the referee was very hasty to get the yellow card out, considering there were more deserving recipients of a yellow card in a Croatia shirt. I find that bemusing. Here's Lingard now, edge of the area, shot deflects over the bar. Right footed shot, it's a corner. And that's where England need it. Now a second goal would be a huge insurance policy for them. Can they get 2-0 ahead? Deflected off Lovren. And that might have been going places from Jesse Lingard. Trippier taking his time, and he's entitled to do that. He'll take it on the near side. The goal scorer, 10 minutes now into the second half. The scorer of the only goal of the game after 5 minutes. The Turkish referees are really no friends with me at the moment. It is a corner. In front of the England supporters on the right hand, towards the right end of the goal. And the ball away there by the Croatian defence. A little bit of a loose touch there by Walker. He's chipped it out to Trippier. Superb. Good first time cross in there, and the diving header for Kane. Almost get connecting there, and it might have been 2-0 then. And then Walker having to get back there, and Young seeing it home. Back to the goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford, who now gets it away with his left foot. Down the centre of the field it goes. Kane wins the next ball. Now Trippier on the right. Good skills from Trippier. Finds Kane. Kane back to Trippier. Good incisive passing there. Trippier's ball in, cut out by Vida, the big blonde-haired centre-back. Now then, Rebic, who should be in the book in my opinion, and not Kyle Walker, he's on the ball. And he's found Mandzukic on the left. And Mandzukic's ball wasn't the best, and Jordan Henderson getting it away. Now Lingard on towards Ali, and Ali's ball towards Sterling was intercepted there. And now the game's starting to branch out into a real classic. It's almost been played at the pace of an FA Cup tie. This really is this semi-final. Now in the number 3, Strinic comes forward, finds the number 18, and Strinic continues his run. Danger here for the English, and again John Stones in the best place at the right time there as Rakitic plays that in, and again this time Harry Maguire with a header away for England. The man who started his career, who was actually scouted by Stan Turner for Hull City, recommended him to Steve Bruce, and the rest is history. Harry Kane so close. This was the cross, a lovely first time cross with his right foot, and Kane was gambling and was within an inch of getting there. Lovren did well actually to get a foot to the ball, otherwise there could have been trouble for the Croats. But it's finally balanced now. It's going to be the last 33 minutes is going to be the most nail-biting intense. I hope you can stand the pressure back home. I tell you what, it's tense in the commentary box, I can assure you. As the number 3 Strinic now starts to drift out to the left-hand side. Strinic again, left-hand side. Back in field it goes. Brozovic now to Rakitic. Deep inside England half. Now Luka Modric cuts in from the right-hand side. Infield. 30 yards from goal. And now a chance now for Rebic. Rebic chips that in and Kyle Walker clears it, but a bit wildly. And it will be a corner. But at least they've averted the danger for the moment anyway, England. Doesn't matter how they do it. Bit of a wild clearance, he's shinned it. But it gives Croatia a chance, and England have got to switch on for the possibility of a short corner here. And Modric actually recognises that and floats that in. The goalkeeper gets a good decisive punch on it and did well, and he found Raheem Sterling as well, who holds the ball up well and finds Jesse Lingard. Good football that from England. That was really good play. In fact, they've got a free kick out of it, England, and that's good. That's really good from England's point of view, because it now breaks up the play. Dele Alli just needs to stay out of trouble. He's mouthing off to one or two of the Croat players. Just needs to keep his mouth closed. And England need to stay disciplined. And Lovren again. How he's not in the book. And then Rakitic comes in. They both should be booked. And Jesse Lingard, you can understand his frustration, can't you? Absolutely disgraceful from the Croats. It's almost bordering on the lines of stupidity. It's almost an action replay of the Colombia game. Well, the Colombians used force in that last 16 game that went to penalties. They didn't deserve an equaliser then. And they don't, and Croatia don't deserve to be level in this game if they were level, but they're not. Thankfully, they're 1-0 down, and deservedly so, but they are coming at England now a bit more. And England must stay disciplined. They must stay guarded in defence. They can't afford anything mistakes. Trippier with a header away, and then the shot back in by Rakitic with his left foot from about 30 yards and knocks it into Rowe's head. We're playing an hour here in Moscow. Still 1-0 to England. It is a bit of a slender lead, however. So it could be a very hairy last half an hour. Just to remind anyone who's tuned in to this stream very, very late, just to remind you of the rules of knockout football in the World Cup. It has to be settled this semi-final tonight. Right last night, when France won after 90 minutes, it has to be settled on the night, whether through 90 minutes or for extra time, should Croatia equalise, of course. 14-7 in favour of Croatia in terms of fouls, just to get back to the situation it could be. So we could have it decided after 90 minutes, like it's been doing so at the moment. If England stay that way, that'll be the decision. If it's level after 90 minutes, we will have extra time, and if there's no winner in extra time, then we go to those nerve-tangling businesses of penalties, and no one wants that. And Croatia breaking down at the moment. The attacks seem to be not coming off for them at the moment. They're working the lines well, but over-hitting the last balls, but their physicality has been over the top. And how we've not had more than a one Croat in the book, well, it beats me. I'm afraid the Turkish referee has not done himself any favours in that department tonight. But it will all be forgotten about if England win. And they're on course to do so here in Moscow. The winners play France in the final on Sunday. A game you can hear with me on commentary on the JB Kart YouTube channel. The losers go into the third place match. Again, a game you can also hear on the JB Kart YouTube channel. Me presenting and Chris Whiteman commentating on that one. As the ball goes forward to Jesse Lingard. In fact, he's brought his team a throw. Vida forced into a corner there and had to the ball out for a throw, or knock the ball out for a throw in, and it's in line, in fact, with the edge of the 6-yard box of the Croats, which will suit England just fine. And England now, there's some Chinese people in the crowd. I'm looking for some Japanese flags that Chris Whiteman's been going on about the last 2 or 3 nights in the commentary. The last 2 or 3 games he's seen a Japanese flag in the crowd. I've not really seen too much. But here's Sterling now inside the area. Sterling now into the penalty area. Sterling goes down, keeps his feet, gets the cross in. Referee telling him to get to his seat. I think he slipped there, but in all honesty, Robin was taken out. And now a break on here for Croatia down the left hand side, but well played. Kyle Walker has the pace and the skill to get England out of bother, and a good sensible action just for Pickford to boot it out of play on halfway, and that will suit England quite nicely. Referee being looked at again. Now then, was this a penalty? Sterling, good skills against Vida, who's not the quickest. And I've got to tell you, that looks a trip to me. I think that's a penalty. I think that looks a penalty to me. I think the referee probably got that one wrong. England should have had a penalty there. And it's not being biased, it's me being truthful. Here's Strinic, the number 3 on the left-hand side for Croatia. Ball in and Kyle Walker just knocks it away for a throw-in. In line now with the English penalty area. Still Croatia on the break. And Strinic again. Can he get the ball into the penalty area this time? Rakitic now, left to right. Out to the right-hand side this time. And it's Lovren, who should really be off for all these multiple tackles that he's put in. The ball crossed in. And away goes Ashley Young now. And Young finding a way through. And Young continuing his run down the left-hand side. So too was Sterling. And the ball just couldn't get forward to the Manchester City man, former Liverpool, of course. And that's a poor ball, which Strinic do well to keep in, but he's lost it to Trippier. And Trippier just a little bit careless there, giving it away. Now the Croats can build again with Modric through the centre, deep inside England territory, out to the far side, and Rebic is there. Rebic, a good ball now with Modric. Right hand side, cross coming in, away, only half away, and a shot deflected, and what an opportunity that was. It was Perisic with the shot, it deflected, and I think an England defender got in the way there. The England defender is down. Referee still playing on. Why are they not putting it out of play? That's the question that's got to be asked. What's happened to sportsmanship? I know there's so much at stake, but a bit of sportsmanship from the Croats wouldn't go amiss, would it? England have got 2 players down. And the referee had, in his word, had to stop it. In fact, he's given a free kick to England for a foul there on Harry Kane, which has relieved a lot of attention there. And it was a silly tackle by Luka Modric. In fact, it wasn't him. It was the number 2, Vaselenko. Oh, my goodness. How are your nerves back home, folks? We've had 65 minutes here. And this was the block. It was Perisic with the shot. And, well, it was a great defensive block there by Kyle Walker. As I think VAR are checking something out there. Was Perisic fouled? Not for me, he wasn't. I'd be very, very surprised if he was to give a penalty for that. And I don't think... Well, Walker is down there, but he's put his body on the line. That's for sure. The man that started off his career at Sheffield United. And well, he's done remarkably well. Kevin says he's onto a whiskey. His nerves are shot. He's an expat living over in New Zealand. But I'm pleased to say and pleased to report that Kyle Walker is okay. He's on his feet. The referee Fakir has given a free kick to England. I don't understand why VAR was needed in that last incident, because I don't think it should have been needed in the first place. Maybe they were checking something out, but Kyle Walker, as obligatory now under the FIFA laws, has to come off for a couple of seconds, and then will be waved back on by the referee. But England have a free kick midway side their own half, and Pickford has come out of this area to take. Mike comes back. It better not be Scotch whiskey. Oh dear. We love the banter on the comment section, and remember, the JB Man in the match is open for business. Next 25 minutes or so, get your votes in, and I'll announce a winner around about the 90th minute mark, regardless whether we're going to extra time or not. Here's Kane out of the byline, hits his shot into the side netting, and behind for a goal kick. And excuse me, I'm suffering from a little bit from hay fever as well, which is not easy when you're being a commentator. But Trippier's 5th minute goal looks like settling it. Looks like settling it at the moment for England, but there's still a long way to go. We're halfway through the second half, by the way, 67.5 minutes. Croatia still trailing. That Trippier goal, as I said, after 5 minutes. Here's Strinic now on the near side. Back in field to Rakitic, right-footed, raising out to the right-hand side. And here's the number 2, Vaselenko. He can knock them in from there. And that's a good ball and a goal! A goal for, well, it's Perisic who's equalised. And the Croatians are level in a game they do not, in my opinion, deserve to be in. No chance for Pickford. It was a lovely move, I'll say that. But there's no way in the world that the Croats deserve to be level in this match. 1-1. And he should have been one of the men that was booked or sent off earlier on in the piece. No doubt about it, he was onside, and really Kyle Walker, feeling the effects from his brave block about a minute or two ago, was found wanting, and he stabbed that ball in, and well, I would have said that was a high foot, but well, there you go. That was actually quite dangerously close, but let's give the Croats a bit of credit. They were complaining of a high foot there, England, and I'm surprised they haven't gone to VAR on that one. And you could say that should be disallowed because he's put his foot very high indeed. I'd seen free kicks given for that. And the Croats have got themselves out of jail in a game they do not deserve to be levelling. 2 goals in 6 matches for him, but that one looked very questionable. It was certainly looked a high foot to me. And it's 1-1. And England will feel very hard done by indeed. And the referee has not helped their cause one bit tonight. I have to be fair. Should have been a free kick to England for an high foot. But now England have what's going on with it. Sterling playing that ball forward. Can't find Lingard. And it's straight with the goalkeeper. Now it's 1-1. And now we cannot afford any more mistakes. As things stand now, we're going to half an hour's extra time. We can't afford to lose a second one. But I have to say the referee has been ridiculously poor. 2 or 3 of the Croatians should be off the pitch in my opinion for persistent fouling. And I'm not being sour grapes. That's the way they've done it. It's almost a repeat really of the second round game with Colombia, where they've just used force and have not tried to play any football. England's still okay. They're not losing the game. That's the important thing. Here's Kane with a good cross, but too far for Trippier, who can't give it in. It's a goal kick to Croatia. Absolutely anonymous. It's okay. Keep playing football, England, on the ground, pass and move and attack. It's still anyone's for the taking, but it should be England still winning. Questionable equalising goal. Was Perishic's foot high? I have to say it looked as if it was. It did look a header from the first glance, but having looked at the replay, you have to say that's questionable. I've seen free kicks for given for that sort of thing in the Premier League. This is the problem now when you're in FIFA competition and not the Premier League. Referees aren't as forgiving to defensive sides. But I have to say this Turkish referee has been disgraceful tonight. I had my doubts about him at the start, and I've certainly got more doubts about him now. The failure to book Croatian players for absolutely nothing, and then there's problems here when Perisic now is forward. This could be dangerous. Perisic shoots it in the post, and then the ball comes out, and somehow Rebic hits it straight at the keeper, and England survive. Oh my goodness me. Real danger there. Pickford has the ball, but England so close to going 2-1 down in a game they should really be winning by rights. There's only one team at the moment, in my opinion, that's trying to play football. The Croatians have used force and have only in the last couple of minutes started to play the game. And that's what's annoyed me, really. They could have been in front, though. They've had the post in England. These semi-finals do not come round often, and now Croatia looking to obviously go into their first World Cup final. We're going down the right, and a good header from John Stones, but not far away though. Rakitic is in there. England have just got to play their way out of trouble. Dele Alli tries to do that. Plays a 1-2 with Young, and then he was tricked quite crudely there. And the referee, amazingly, has not stopped the game. He's not given a free kick. Now that's a controversial decision. Absolutely disgraceful, this. The Turkish refs absolutely been completely biased to the Croats here, in my opinion. I've never known a referee in a semi-final like it, and I don't think the Turkish referee... Well, England are going to make a change now. It looks as if Rashford is going to come on, and I'm going to bet any money that it's going to be Raheem Sterling. But he's going to allow this corner, which I find bemusing, because now England are in real trouble here. And the ball comes out to 25 yards distance, and the shot While the number 11 Brozovic goes into the stands for a goal kick. But Croatia, let's be fair, don't deserve to be level in this football match. And they let alone almost go 2-1 up. I don't like the way they've gone about it today. Sterling off, and obviously he's done well tonight, but no product for him. But Rashford, number 19, is a precocious talent, very fearless, and it will be to England's benefit they've got him on the field. But I'm absolutely incensed by the poor officials from Turkey. How I had my doubts when I heard that a Turkish ref was going to be in charge. I knew straight away there could be trouble, because he's just kept his cards in his pocket and he's trying to keep two full teams on, which has benefited the Croats more than it has us. And I'd like to see Ruben Loftus-Cheek at some time in this semi-final as well, as the cross comes in from the far side. England now got to rise above it all. They've played so well and so well to get this far. They can't afford to lose it now on indiscipline. It must be so heartbreaking for them. Maguire now striding forward. 1-1 is the score. Quarter of an hour to go. We're on for extra time as things stand here, folks. How's your nerves? Here comes John Stones and Kyle Walker, rather. Walker inside the centre circle. Plays a 1-2 with Henderson. Henderson had another good game at the heart of the midfield of England. Now then, here's Trippier. Well, I think he's biased. I have to say, some of the decisions he's made, and the decision not to book 2 or 3 Croatians for persistent fouling, has been absolutely disgraceful. I've got to be honest with everyone. And out for a throw. The Turkish referee's had a nightmare. England at the moment going 3-1 at the moment, and it looks to me they're playing against 12 men. Vazilenko now in field. Modric. Vazilenko again. Right hand side. Infield. The shot comes in and Walker's there. Just gets there. And it's now Desperado defending from England. As Croatia, helped by some generous refereeing, are on the charge. Quarter of an hour to play. Here's Vazilenko again. Vazilenko chipping that one forward. Dele Alli with an important interception. Now Henderson keeps his head and coolly brings the ball away. Can't find Rashford. The ball breaks to Kane though, and Rashford's on the chase. Fido to him, and offside? Really? That's a questionable decision in itself. These Turkish officials have really taken the biscuit for me. That did not look offside at all. Oh my goodness me. This referee and his 2 assistants have been pathetic and have been a disgrace to the tournament and a disgrace to this football match. He deserved a better referee than that. And for me, FIFA should take a long, hard look at the way they appoint certain referees for certain games. Because this referee, quite frankly, cannot keep up with the pace of the game. And well taken by Pickford. He had to get there and he did. But England now just need to keep going. Not panic. England now must be wary. They need to get maybe get a set piece as well. It's worked for them so far. At the moment we're looking at extra time and staring that completely in the face. Here's Trippier on the right hand side, gets the ball forward. Now a chance for Rashford to see what he can do. He'll run a throw off Vida on the near side. This really is a good opportunity here. Gwengar goes in and across the face, and the ball's still in play for a second or two. Now it's gone, and Dele Alli can't keep it in play. Oh dear. It looked in all the world there. Great run, good positive play from Jesse Lingard, and Dele Alli just had to keep running and running, and in the end England, another chance goes begging. England still fighting in there for every single way in possible. Here's Rashford now inside the area. Good turn by him. Now then, Kane lays it off. A chance now, 25 yards from goal. Back in again. Shot comes in and over the top from Jordan Henderson. A goal kick with 13 minutes just under the go. Still 1-1. Well, I know how Chris Whiteman's feeling. Could be a late night for us. Really is. This was the chance there for the number 4 Perisic to score again. I have to say, his goal looked very questionable. Was the foot very high? In my opinion, it did. Unfortunately, the referee didn't see it that way, and that's a poor ball by him. And the Croatian goal scorer, that'll soon England down to the ground. But we need a set piece. We need Trippier Young on the ball to send a free kick in. But I have to say, they don't deserve to be level, let alone nearly in front. I'll make that perfectly clear. And really, Rebic should have scored on the rebound, to be fair. But well, England deserve that little bit of luck, maybe, in terms of what they've had to suffer from the referee and his officials as well. Here's Kane, takes it down beautifully on the chest into Dele Alli. Dele Alli, good ball, and oh, Rashford just couldn't connect. He did his best to keep that in play, and it's gone for a goal kick. But it's showing a lot more energy, a lot more promise, and I think England now, with the fresh legs of Rashford, can set the goal places showing the last 10 minutes and try and do something from here. We've had late drama before in the opening match, of course, when England were having to face some poor refereeing in the first game, of course, against Tunisia. They showed character, and Harry Kane came up with the goods in that one. They'll need something of a similar quality now to pretend extra time. But England have been through the mill. But the Croats, well, if they're going to win the game tonight, they'll have certainly done it the hard way. They've needed extra time in the previous 2 rounds, and they've won on penalties on each occasion. And the goalkeeper actually for Croatia is a bit of an expert stopper, although he is questionable whether he moves off the line very early or not. Very questionable. We're coming up to the walls in the last 10 minutes. Croatia, in full fairness, have had 54% to England's 56%. But it's still anyone's game. England must not panic. They're still very much alive in this match. Oh! And in the end, the goalkeeper... From 1 minute there, Trippier looked as if he sold his team down the river. But now, here come England with Jesse Lingard. He's got Rashford on the right. Now then, England have got fresh legs. This is where they have to utilise Rashford well. The cross was charged down, however. Rashford will retrieve the situation for England. This is going to be a tense finish here in Moscow. 10 to play. Just under, in fact. 1-1 is the score. How they deserve to be level, Croatia, I do not know. And the Turkish referee has got to take some blame. And I don't know what these comments are all about. If you're going to mess around on the comments, don't bother. We have moderators. We have about 6 moderators. And if they see any funny business like you're just doing there, Akmal Aspar, then you will be thrown off the channel. John Pickford's had a good game. Little he could have done about the equaliser, though it did look very illegal. Certainly a big high foot. And England now must be kicking themselves and wondering, what have we got to do? What have we got to do? We'll kick away by Subotic. But England have won it once. They've got to go and win it again. And they've got the quality and the skill and the guile, like they have done throughout the tournament, to do that. Here's Pickford now with his left foot. Not the best, I'm afraid, from Pickford. And this could be trouble here for England. And Walker gets back there. He's got to be wary. He's on a yellow card, of course. That's a good cross, but in the end, it's a well fielded, attempted cross from the left by Jordan Pickford. Oh, how's your nerves, folks? How's your nerves? I've got to be honest with you. The referee has been an absolute disgrace tonight. And I have no sympathy at all for FIFA if they're going to employ second-rate officials for a match of so much importance. Then they are a stupid organisation to do that. Here's a chance inside the area. Mandzukic, good save at the near post. That was a real chance for Croatia to win it potentially and get themselves in the final. And now England have a chance at the other end with Rashford, but out comes Subotic. And now he gets Strinic on his way. My goodness me, what a semi-final now. It's going to be a tense old 8 minutes. Or 7.5 minutes rather. Here's Rakitic, the Barcelona man. To the far side, Vaselenko. Rakitic again. Right hand side, out to the far side now, Rebic. Rebic with a cross towards the back post. and Pickford surely was being fouled there, and the ball over the top of the crossbar and behind for a goal kick. Well, I have to say the Croats have been disgraceful in the way they've been very overzealous and they've been overzealous with their physicality. That looked a foul on the goalkeeper to me. There are nerves about though, there's no doubt about that. Just for one moment, good chest control, Mandzukic, big game player. So too was the goalkeeper, that was a good save. Kept England in business. But a moment anyway. But I've got to be honest, England have put in a terrific workmanlike performance. It's just a shame that the referee has been very, very unfair. Little Pickford could do about the goal. Did look an edge of highness about the goal, but the Croats now looking the more likely scorers, I'm afraid to say. And England feel like they'll feel injustice playing against 12 men. We will get reaction whatever happens from Gareth Southgate. Of course, I don't really want Croatia to go through because it will ruin my final, that, and it wouldn't get me not for a World Cup final as much, but I'm down to do it regardless England get there or not. But here come England now with Lingard, just a little bit laboured now in possession. England, they're just gonna do the basics now. Rashford coming on will make a difference. Sterling did his bit. He can't do much more now, sitting on the bench. England being held by 1-1 as that ball gets floated in, away by the Croats again. Henderson, just get your foot on it, and then he's lost it there. Maybe tired minds out there now. It's a very, very tense situation. You look at how much is at stake here tonight. We're 5 minutes away from an extra half an hour more, and the bookmakers would have you believe that, as the number 3 comes charging in there, and he goes almost for the shot, and in fact he's played a real hospital pass which has gone behind Perisic and away for a throw-in. Ruben Loftus-Cheek has been, well, Kevin is saying Ruben Loftus-Cheek perhaps to come on. Well, they need something here, England, because at the moment, even with Rashford on, they are being a little bit overrun. So Trippier's goal after 5 minutes. England held on until the 68th minute when Perisic scored a goal which looked on the high side. Certainly I've seen free kicks given in league football, Premier League football for that, and I feel that the referee wasn't strong enough, and I think he has been a little bit on the side of the Croats tonight. Reeder's had a decent match though. He's done okay. Probably been their best player thus far. Now Kane playing it in, and oh, he just went behind Lingard. Jesse Lingard just needed to control, swivel, then shoot, and I think England would have been in the final. 4 minutes to go. Still anyone's to take, and England now starting to look a little bit threatening again. Well, we were building this up as Waistcoat Wednesday. Gareth Southgate must be the coolest man on the field right now, in the stadium right now, and his team are under the most severe pressure. Well, more areas, including the referee, has made some very bad calls tonight. Goal kick taken by Subadic. Up towards halfway and out of play. We're coming up towards the last 3 minutes, still one apiece. In a game that has truly been gripping, tension. It's got to everyone, it's got to the players, it's got to the coaches, it's got to the commentary box, I can tell you. As England battle for everything now, and Lingard is frustrated he didn't get a corner. They looked as if he came off Strinic last, and England a little bit frustrated, and I can understand that. They've gotten absolutely no change really out of the referee in this second half. No change at all. There is frustration around here in Moscow, certainly from an England viewpoint. Can England nick a late winner? Save us all the agony of extra time, all the drama of a penalty shootout. England needed a penalty shootout in the second round, you may remember, but near come Croatia. Long cross, which has gone way out of play, on the far side by Rebic, and he arguably should be in the book along with a few other Croats. Lovren should be off for persistent fouling, but I'm sorry, the referee's been trying to be sensible. He's refereed it far too sensibly, and he's trying to keep, well, you go by what you say, and I think FIFA have chosen a Turkish referee so they can manipulate him, and he's refereed it poorly. If FIFA don't want another big team in the final, if they want a Croatian team in the final, they shouldn't. I think it's FIFA's doing what's happened to the referee. I really do. But I'm not detracting. I don't want to detract criticism away from the referees. Had a poor match, but how much was that influenced by FIFA officials at the top? We've had some poor referees in this tournament, and yet they're getting semi-finals of this importance. One has got to ask a question. One has got to ask a big question. The referee's been poor, and his officials, of course. Yes, Strinic now. It would be a heartbreak for England now if they were to lose it here now. Last minute of normal time, 1-0 the score. Here's Rebic. Rebic, who should have been yellow carded himself. He's only booked the one Croatian, and that was Mandzukic, and he's booked Kyle Walker for nothing. And here's the ball back into the penalty area. I will make my own decisions based on what I've seen, Serban Marin. I don't care what you think. There's the shot coming in, and over the bar it goes from Lovren, who should have been in the dressing rooms for me because of persistent fouling. The Croats do not deserve to be level, but England now living on the edge. It's not a conspiracy theory, it's what I've seen, Serban. If you don't like it, go elsewhere. 1-1 is the score. England should be alright to be in the final. Three added minutes. Well, I find that amazing as well. Should be 4 or 5 in my eyes. I mean, the amount of stoppages and the amount of referee has had to do it. But here comes Rashford. England have tried to play football. I'm afraid the Croats had to use force and frustrate England. But we're going to an extra half an hour. At least England have tried to play the stuff. And that's a foul there by Rakitic. Stupid. And the referee should be getting his book out here. But yet again, the referee decides to keep them in his pocket. That was a crude foul. But it could be the ultimate punishment here if England get this right. It's a set piece on the right hand side. Trippier's going to take it. Can England win it and save us all the agony of extra time? Harry Kane, who saved us in stoppage time in the first match, you may recall, against Tunisia. Well, we didn't have the bulk of the decisions then. And Trippier to take it. 4, 5, 6 in that penalty area. White shirts in there. Trippier with his right foot winds it into the penalty area. Headers in there, and it's just gone wide. And behind for a goal corner, is it? I think it's a goal kick. I'm not sure. We're played a minute and a half into the 3. Can't tell whether that was a goal kick or a corner. Trippier playing the ball in. The headers were there. Yes, it was a goal kick because Kane headed that wide of the target. And it looks as if Croatia will be happy now to be going to extra time, but I'm not happy with the referee. And Lovren now clearly out to waste time. I've been absolutely disgusted with his performance tonight. Really have. And well, at least they haven't tried to whistle Kane to the floor. I'll give him that respect. We've got a minute of the 3 to go. And it's 1-1. We knew this might be the case at the start. And it looks as if, barring a miracle goal from England, it's going to be the case now. 30 seconds of the 3. I'm still trying to work out the officials. I mean, the officials were just as bad in the other semi-final last night. Just brainless, and they added 6 minutes on for something for a free-flowing second half. It just doesn't make sense with these fourth officials when they add up the stoppage time and everything. I'm afraid we lost sound there for a second or two, but we are back now and the whistle's gone. Extra time will be played, I'm afraid, and well, I'm absolutely perplexed by the refereeing in the second half. It's ended 1-1 here in Moscow, and I've got to say, extra time, should it have gone to extra time? Should the equaliser not counted? I'm not happy with Sermon Marin's comments there. I'm not happy with him whatsoever, because I'm afraid that looked... I've seen free kicks given for high foots like that, but lower than that when he scored from. But the referee has helped, and a lot of support though for England. They should be by rights in the final. I'm not happy with the way the Croats have gone about their business. They've scored an equaliser, could have won it themselves, but it would have been an injustice to football if they had done so. They still might, but we've got to keep positive. And I'm right now frustrated and disappointed that England are still not there. I think the referee's been an absolute joke. I'm going to take a couple of minutes and then grab myself up for extra time. We'll be back in about 2 minutes. We're back live now as the second half of, well, the first period of extra time gets underway. Incidentally, just to let you know about a substitution that's taken place for England. Off comes Ashley Young, who ran himself into the ground, quite frankly, and on in his place comes Danny Rose again, just to add a little bit of stability and fresh legs. And this, in a lot of respects, reminds me of the Colombian game. I still maintain that the goal looked illegal from a Croatia point of view, and 2 or 3 of the players should be in the book. But Croatia, Lovren, you could argue, it should be off the pitch for persistent fouling. But at the moment, we're into extra time. Just to remind everybody of the rules, as Rashford makes a break down the far side, but it's snuffed out. So we're now 15 minutes each way, and if we can't pick a winner in that 2 hours of 15 minutes, we have those penalty shootout nerves again. Jordan Pickford made himself an hero in the second round against Colombia. Now he may well be needed to do that again, unless England can find a winning goal in one of the 2 periods of extra time, and they're capable of doing it. Danny Rose on, as I say, now for the extra half an hour. And let's hope he can bring a bit of luck to the England side now, as we look to try and we now want to try and see what we can do now. So 2 substitutes used by England. I don't think there's been any used by the Croatian side, so they're still obviously fit enough to go on with England. But it's the 3rd time now in 3 games that the Croats have had to go into extra time, so they've got experience of durability, if you like. England now 2nd time and to go into extra time, so 15 minutes each way, and then the penalties, of course, now. And now England on the ball. I don't think you don't start smoking, will you, Kevin? Oh dear. Free kick showing there on Danny Rose. Indeed it is. Free kick to England. And now England, I think they'll be happy that they've had the break in between, obviously, the end of the second half and the first 15 minutes, of course. Jack thinks it's going to be 4-3 to Croatia. Now we've got a player down. Strinic is on the floor, and I can understand people going down with cramp and everything else, and you can't help that. But one asks the question, FIFA's decision to put a Turkey in charge of this semi-final. It should have been the best Italian official, it should have been the best French official, it should have been the best German official. And referees that have refereed in big leagues, in big games, in big occasions. This Turkish referee is clearly not up to the pace of a match of this complete magnitude. Now Pivovic is about to come on for the Croats, who, in my opinion, okay, they played okay in the second half. They've done better in the second half, but they don't deserve to be forcing extra time, in my opinion. And that's just me being honest. I'm trying to be as impartial as I can, but it's difficult when you see your country being ripped apart in such a way, and then the referee's not helping. One can understand the frustration. Now Strinic is coming off at number 3, so he's off, and it's taken a while, but one can understand that he's absolutely run himself into the ground. He's actually had a good second half. Vezelenko giving him a shake of the hands. Rebic, who arguably should be in the book himself. So coming to 4 minutes of the first period of extra time gone, and on in his place is the number 22, Pribovic. So Pribovic is now on, and he's wearing number 22. This is Kyle Walker around the corner once more. Henderson, good football again from England, trying to get that ebb and flow passing game going, in as they did in the first half when they looked very good on the break. But this is where the acid test comes in. Just remind everyone who's joined us late, Kieran Trippier put England, I think I said Burnley, in England going in front in 5 minutes with a super free kick, and then And then an equaliser from Perisic, who looked a bit high in terms of the high foot. Now a yellow card coming out, and Rebic, who could arguably have been booked about 50 minutes earlier, has got his yellow card, and that was a naughty tackle late on Danny Rose. Definite free kick, and Rebic, who should have been in the book something like 30-40 minutes earlier, has now got his just desserts, and he's now rightly booked when he should have been booked not long ago. But England have got a free kick in a very good position. It is a bit central though, and it's far too far out. Must be at least a good 35-40 yards out, and it would take something extra special from Trippier to hit it from that range and for that to go in the net. Although we've seen him nearly do it in Birmingham as many moons ago, but I've got a feeling that it's going to be floated into the penalty area rather than shot. And it would be amazing if Trippier was to pull it off for a second time. Now it's Rose and Lingard as well, and Lingard complaining that the Croat is not 10 yards back as the free kick is floated in. There was Harry Maguire, and that's surely going to be an English corner, but he's given a goal kick. Well, that looked a corner to me. I'm certain it came off Mandzukic. Well, the referee should have been watching there. That certainly came off the Croat last. Should have been a corner. Well, off comes Jordan Henderson. He's run himself ragged, and Eric Dyer now comes on, the number 4. And he's a fantastic player himself. As he comes on now, Eric Dyer, number 4, like for like. And he must have been listening to you absolutely in honours, because he made that third change. So off comes Henderson, and on comes Eric Dyer, who's just as capable in that position as Henderson, but Henderson obviously has earned the right to that shirt ahead of Dyer. But Dyer now has his chance in extra time, which is now 7 minutes old, and still annoyingly it remains 1-1. England tantalisingly close, came within 22 minutes of the final, and then an equaliser rubbed it all out for them now. As here's Rose breaking down the left hand side. Danny Rose, good skills by Rose. The fresh legs coming towards great effect. Still Rose inside the penalty area, has to dig the ball back. Lingard's there as well. Shot comes in from Dyer, deflects away for a corner, and England now back on the front foot all of a sudden. That's better. And Danny Rose there, that was a good enterprising run down the left hand side. I was really pleased to see that. Trippier to take the corner. If England can just get their noses in front here, we have a chance of holding on and winning. Can we do it? We always do in this tournament anyway. Trippier to take the corner. It's 1-1 here in Moscow at the Luciani Stadium. Trippier with the corner into the penalty area, and a one off the line. It was Maguire, I think, inside there, and England denied by a goal line clearance right on the goal line, and Lovren brings it away, and the referee's given a foul there. Vasylenko is, oh my goodness me, I think it was Maguire with the header. It wasn't, in fact, it was John Stones. John Stones, it was going in as well. Credit to the defender there, Vasylenko, clearing it off the line. John Stones denied, and the frustration on his face is there for all to see. Oh my word. Look, to all intents and purposes, that England were going 2-1 in the lead. But that's the value, I suppose. The Croats got it right there on the corner. Vasylenko was on the post and did his job. So we've got to give him a bit of credit for that. England have got a free kick 5 yards from halfway inside their own half, and they take the game, take it quickly, trying to get Rashford on his way. But the Croats outnumbered the English in terms of a defence and attack. Well, 5 Croats back compared to 2 English attackers. And you know who's going to win in that situation. Well, we've played almost 10 minutes of the extra period. It's 1-1, and England came so mighty close to making it 2-1. But there's plenty of positives here. Danny Rose having an effect. There's going to be another Croatia substitution in just a second. It's going to be the number 9 that's going to come on in just a second or two. Meanwhile, England have it down the far side, and again Lingard Forces feet of that looked suspiciously out of play to me. And again, the Turkish officials didn't spot that either. This is brainless officiating from the Turks again. I've got to be honest. And here come the Croats. This will be controversial if they score now. There's a Croat going down in the inside the area, and if he's given a free kick here, this Turkish referee needs to get a grip on these easy decisions. Vida did not look for one moment as if he kept that in. It's a foul by Rashford. And again, I've got to say that's questionable. He's used Rashford's stomach and has bought a free kick by play acting. Disgrace. Off comes Rebic, number 18. And of course, number 9 is going to replace him. It's going to be Kramaric, the former Leicester City man who scored in the game against Russia. So still 1-1. England so close to going in front here. But it's a free kick. And it's been taken short. And it was Bronzovic now, and there's an England player down. Surely they've got to put the ball out. The Croats are playing on. Kramaric trying to getting first involvement now. Then England back up. Well, the England players come. I don't know who the England player was that went down, but he's back up on his feet. And meanwhile, Rashford wins a throw-in, still inside his own half, midway inside his own half. We're inside the last 4 minutes of the first period of extra time. We will have a quick 15-minute change around, and then we'll go again. I'm afraid the Turkish referee spotting some very bad officials. I'm afraid the officials again. That free kick should never have been given in the first place to Croatia. He bought the free kick. Poor Rashford didn't know what to do that. He's absolutely play acted and got the decision. Here's Maguire now to Dyer. Dyer's got to just watch himself. Can't afford now. When there's a man on, just play the ball. Stones just that, and now finds Walker. Now Dyer again. England have got to try and get this forward. Try and get their noses in front if they can before the end of the first 15 minutes. And here's Maguire, and that's a good ball out to Rose. He's onside. Cross comes in towards the penalty area. Good defending, I have to say, by Lovren. Then Maguire goes in. No foul there, definite foul. He went for the ball and won it cleanly, but the Croats get the ball away second time around. And now picked up on halfway by Dyer. Still 1-1. Maguire now trying to amble forward. That's got to be an English throw of Brozovic. Well, we've got 2 minutes now plus stoppage time of the first period of extra time. Then we'll swap ends and go again. That's the way it should work, but I wouldn't be too surprised if they try and get some refreshment on for the players. It must be really hot out there for them. All 22 players have run themselves into the ground for a good hour and a half, and my word, England coming so close to striking a blow there. Tired pass there from Lingard, got away with that a little bit. Here's Maguire again. Almost Bobby Moore-like as he comes out of there, and there's the cross coming in from the left-hand side from Danny Rose, who certainly made a bit of an impact going down the right-hand channel here. No foul. Oh, he has given it. Well, I thought he slipped there. Harry Kane can't believe the decision. It's Rakitic. Well, for me, he slipped. This Turkish official is disgraceful. Kane's hardly got a tug on him, and Rakitic has gone the referee. This referee needs to get a grip on this, because quite frankly he's been pathetic all the match. I've got to be honest, he's been a disgrace to his profession, the referee, and his officials as well, his two assistants. We're into the last minute of normal time of the first period of extra time. This is Modric now on the near side. England 1, Croatia 1 on the JB Clark YouTube channel. The winners, of course, play France in the final. The losers will play off for third place alongside the Belgians, who lost 1-0 to a very disciplined French side last night. But England can sense it. They just need a break in the next sort of 15 minutes, and they could still reach the final. Save us all the agony and the stress of a penalty shootout. But never anything is so simple as far as England is concerned. We're now coming up towards the 15-minute mark. And I'm sure the referee will add on a little bit of time. I don't know how long it's to go as we go stoppage time. He's playing an additional... Well, I don't know where he's got 2 minutes from. I'm not sure 2 minutes is relevant, because it's not been that much of a... I don't think you could say that was 2 added minutes there. The fourth official as well, he's been just as bad as well, I've got to be honest with you. I mean, England now, can they make use of it now? That's surely got to be a free kick again for England, but nothing given. Where's this inconsistency coming from this referee? Should have been a free kick to England, and now England have got to defend at the other end because they're breaking down that far side, and a chance inside the edge of the area. And well done to England for getting back there and getting numbers back and blocking that. It would have been disgraceful if they had scored then, because that looked a nailed on free kick to me for England at the other end of the field. Still remains 1-1. We're playing a minute. We've played the minute, one of the 2 minutes. I don't know where we've got 2 minutes from. I really don't. An attempted volley by Modric didn't come off. Now Rashford, that's better. Rashford just being asked to do too much, mind you, but he did enough. It's clearing your lines is the first objective, and sometimes they do well. I have to say, for the Croats, I think Vida's had an impressive game. I think Vida's done absolutely superbly. But here come the Croats now, looking to win it, and what a save! What a save that was! Jordan Pickford in there, Mandzukic stabbed the ball forward, and Pickford made a superb block. Mandzukic has hurt himself. It's definitely not a penalty, because the goalkeeper saved it. Well, I tell you what, that's great goalkeeping from Pickford, and Mandzukic here should score for me. And Jordan Pickford enhancing his ever-growing reputation with an absolute brilliant save here. From point-blank range as well, I've got to tell you. That is marvellous. Mandzukic has hurt himself, there's no doubt about it. He was very brave going in for that, but for me he should score. We've played the 2 minutes. And the trainers have come onto the field. This looks a serious injury, this, and it looks like the knee to me. And the Turkish referee, I'm afraid, has had a nightmare tonight. He really has refereed this poorly. This to me is a free kick on Dele Alli. Look at that, he's behind him, it's a foul from behind, and he's got none of the ball. He's got none of the ball whatsoever. I cannot believe this referee even has been allowed to referee a match of this importance. I'm sure he's refereed this sort of match before. I'm sure he's refereed an England match before, and he wasn't very complimentary towards us neither. But this is the save from Pickford again. I'm just seeing what a save that is. I have to say Mandzukic is quite brave as well. He's got to go off for treatment. We've played well over the 2 minutes now, and the referee again, I have to say he's also been very fussy for me, and that to me is a disgrace. So Croatia down to 10 men whilst Mandzukic gets treatment. I think we'll just have time for this set play, and then that'll be that for the first half, as Modric now tries to work something from the short corner down the left hand side there. Mandzukic is still up the field, but as I can see behind the goal for treatment, the cross comes in, ball out of play, referee blows for half time in extra time. Whoa, hang your nerves. In fact, I'll try and read a few of these comments out. I have to say the referee, I'm afraid, from Turkey has been a complete letdown. I'm certain he's refereed England-Tunisia in an earlier game where he gave England absolutely next to nothing. I'm just trying to come through my notes actually, because I've got so many notes here. So it means now we've got to change over. I'm just checking from my previous commentary notes just to see if he has been refereeing one of our games before. No, it wasn't. He was the Colombian referee, I have to tell you. But this Turkish referee has been... I think he was the same referee that refereed the European final and failed to send Sergio Ramos off when he should have sent him off, when he absolutely wiped out Mo Salah and nearly ragged his arm off. So the players are actually taking on fluids and having a massage, and one thing and another, and I think it's right. You can't just go out straight away. They're allowing there's the England goal again. Southgate orchestrating it, and he's been terrific. But England's so close there in extra time, in the first period anyway, to going in front. And if it wasn't for the number 2 there, Vaselenko, it might have been glory for England, and we might have been looking at holding out for 15 minutes and trying to get into the final. But it's not to be at the moment. But there's still 15 minutes of this to go, and England are still capable of producing a moment or two. Trippier getting a good massage there. Well, we've got to believe now, folks. Where's Paul the Octopus when you need him? Well, I understand now Chris Whiteman feels. He's had to go through the heart-rending business twice live. I've commentated on penalty shootouts already in the tournament, although in recorded format, but not live. And this really is all or nothing now. In the next 15 minutes will decide. England will go to their right. Just to remind you, England are in an all-white strip tonight, not the red that we've seen in the previous 2 rounds. Croatia in the dark shirts and dark shorts with the red socks. And the referee, well, quite appropriately wearing the same colours as the Croats. Although he's wearing a red shirt as in dark shorts as opposed to that. But he may as well have had a Croatian shirt on for all I care. The referee, the way he's handled this match, it's been a disgrace. And I don't think he should have had a final of this match of this importance. I don't think he'll be getting the final anyway. I'd be amazed if he did get the final. Mr. Fakir, absolutely disgraceful. And it's not the first time I've criticised him before in a big game, but I'm afraid his level of refereeing is so poor. And you wonder, how do they base refereeing appointments on performances? I tell you what, a British referee could referee it better. A Scotsman could have refereed it better. A Welshman could have refereed it better. A German could have refereed it better. An Italian could have refereed it better. Just, we want the best officials for the biggest games, and I'm afraid there's this Mr. Fakir from Turkey is clearly not up to the mark. We're underway in the second period of extra time now. We've got 15 minutes plus stoppage time to find a winner. Otherwise, it is penalties. Will England reach the final? They've not been there since 1966. Remember, the last time they were in the semi-final in any competition was Euro 96, and we lost on penalties that night. Let's hope it's not going to be a repeat tonight in the World Cup final. It's been a real heroic display by England, watched by a lot of people around the country. Croatia, they'll all be watching back in Zagreb, but I'm not happy with the way they've gone about their business tonight, the Croats. Not at all. They're not a good side. They're not the side I saw against Argentina when they played football and played it the right way. Certainly for the first 65 minutes they were disgraceful. They're disgraceful to the World Cup. They've got a corner here now in the second minute of the 15 minutes. Off Jesse Lingard. England have got to be wary. This really is. And Rakitic, we all know from Barcelona, he's an absolute menace with his set pieces, and he's gone short this time in the shot over the top by Brozovic with his left foot. And over the top it goes. England weren't ready, and look at that. Brozovic was completely unmarked and completely free as he shot then. Martia Play says hashtag England. Well, we're all praying for a certain hashtag with 3 little words. I'm desperately not trying to say it just yet. Although a certain Mr. Badil and Mr. Skinner will be claiming a lot of royalties from all this. Never in a million years, 22 years after it was first released, would it have such a reboot as it's had here back over in the UK. And they were all singing that similar song before the start of this game, England fans. It's still 1-1 now as we're going to the 3rd minute of this second period of extra time. And the ball knocked in, danger here, and a goal! A goal for Croatia! And it's Mandzukic who's got it! And it could well break English hearts. They have not deserved it over the course of the game. But there you go. England have to find an equaliser now to force penalties. How cruel. How cruel, how cruel, how cruel. If the officials had done their jobs earlier in the game, then we wouldn't be seeing these scenes. Disgraceful. They don't deserve to be in front. They've been helped by some really poor refereeing. And it's a ball into the penalty area. Tired minds. It wasn't the best clearance that Kyle Walker's put in. There's no question that he was onside there. I'll give him that. It's a good finish. No chance, Pickford. But how cruel on England. How cruel, desperately cruel. Look, the referees do their job in the first half. The officials do their job in the first half. We wouldn't be talking about this now. And I've got to be honest. It's 12-man Croatia 1-2, 11-man England 1. And I say that without being horrible to the Croats, but you've got to say the referee has not been fair on England. Take nothing away from the finishing of Mandzukic. It's a deadly finish. He is a man from the big occasions. Let's not forget that. But if the referee and his officials from Turkey do the jobs properly, then they should be on the plane and not England. So England must come from behind. And they've had a throw given against them. What a disgrace. How many more times does these Turkish officials are going to get something completely wrong? It was an English throw-in, and I'm absolutely disgusted. And I don't like to conspiratize, but I have to question the wisdom of these Turkish officials. Why, oh why did people from there get games like this? He has to be investigated, because some of the decisions he's made against England have been pathetic. And you've got to feel some sympathy for England. They deserve to be in front. And then when the officials start making basic errors against the English, then I'm sorry, it's just absolutely out of order. England have nothing to be ashamed of. There's no doubt about that. But it's infuriating. And it's destroying my personal dream of describing an English World Cup victory for the first time in 52 years on Sunday. And the reality, well, Jamie Vardy, last throw of the dice. He missed the quarter-final through injury. England needs something now in the next 9 minutes. And Kyle Walker's going off. England are so frustrated, and you can understand that now. England have got to go for it. They may as well do. Trippier with a throw, deep inside the Croatian territory. They need an equaliser here now. It started off so great for England. They were playing brilliantly. And then the referee started making mistakes. Now then, can Rashford keep it in on that far side? He can! And the cross still might favour Lingard. England have still got big players in there. Kane now, can he take it down? Modric eases him off the ball, mind you. I have to say it's cruel justice. And sometimes football can be a cruel justice. Mandzukic has hurt himself, but he could end up being the hero for Croatia. But they'll have a big part of the referee to thank for that. The goalkeeper got there just about. And they're going to waste a lot of time now, the Croats. Mandzukic. Maguire trying to get him forward. And I think Mandzukic is making a meal of this now. He got injured earlier on, but I think he's milking it, quite frankly. And I think the Turkish referee has got to take some criticism. I am absolutely disgusted with the way he's refereed the match tonight. There's no doubt about it. Some of the decisions he's made have been absolutely disgraceful. And I'm banging my commentary desk in absolute disbelief and anger, really, because the Croats have got away with it. Take nothing away from the way they've scored the second goal. The first goal should have been ruled out for high foot. I'm maintaining that one for sure. But some of the decisions they brought off the Turkish referee has been a disgrace, and he will not be welcome. I certainly will not, and he certainly will be getting the bird from me, and he won't be high on any Englishman's Christmas card list. The ref's absolutely disgraced. And I really want. I don't like to run people from the mill, but I'm afraid he needs investigating, because quite frankly, some of the decisions he's made have been absolutely poor. And his two linesmen. Here's Kramaric, and now a chance now on the far side. Ball back, Kramaric's shot deflected away. It will be a corner. It's a corner to Croatia, are on the verge. And Mandzukic is down again, and he's completely milking it now. Maguire and Rose telling him to stop milking it and get on. Joe Luke is going to come off, and then Mandzukic is going to take forever and a day to come off. I'm not having this. It's a disgrace. Listen, take nothing away from the finish. It was a deadly finish, but he's milking it now. I'm absolutely annoyed. And also the Croats should be in the book, have the book thrown at them, and the substitutes should not have come on the field. They're on the field to play as that celebration took place. The substitutes should stay on the bench. I'm fed up and sick to death of the substitutes coming on and celebrating. I understand it's a big moment, but I'm sorry, that's not enough for me. I'm absolutely angry. It's not like me at all to get angry over something or nothing, but this, as an Englishman, a proud Englishman, and Mandzukic has got to hurry up. He should be in the book for time wasting. He should be in the book for time wasting. I'm absolutely annoyed. There were 5 minutes for stoppage time to go. Trippier now is hurt. He's running so ragged, and England are now, I think they've used all their substitutes, because Vardy was the fourth one, because they're allowed to use up to 4 now in extra time. Trippier is hurt. Croatia have a corner, and they're going to take about 300 years on. It's devastating, really. England don't deserve this. Croatia have a corner, they've taken it short, and the shot comes in, and the goalkeeper, just one moment there, Brozovic's shot goes, a little bit of panic, and then Vida came flying in on him like a train and fouled him in the process. I think 3-1 now would be rather harsh on England. And well, I've got to try and compose myself if England do go out in about 10-15 minutes time to go on Facebook in front of the camera and rant on about the disgrace World Cup live, and I was hoping to do a joyous one. England so near and yet so far, but there's still 4 minutes left. There's still a chance here. Dele Alli on the ball. Can England find somewhere? That's a foul to me. Oh, the referee. And Trippier now, he's being helped up and he's leaving in tears. And England now, having used up all their changes, have to play with 10 men. But can they find an equaliser? It's desperado stuff now. It is a free kick, by the way. Modric has got to get his full 10 yards. And the referee now has got to get on with the game. He's not. He should be getting Modric back from me now. I'm sorry, this referee has absolutely been a complete joke tonight. It's easy for me to stop blaming officials, but he really has. People will disagree with me. I don't expect even 50% to agree with what I've said, but here's the free kick from Rashford. It's into a crowded penalty area. They claim a corner, I think. He's giving a goal kick. I think he wants a corner. There may be a case for a penalty. England are claiming a penalty. He's got to go to VAR, surely. England are furious. Well, there's 2 players on him. It's a penalty. It has to be a penalty. Look at that. He's all over him. There's a fistful of shirt in there as well. That's a penalty. How dare they? The Turkish officials. Disgraceful. Disgraceful from the Turks. It's a penalty. I'm banging my commentary desk in absolute frustration here. The referee's got to be investigated by FIFA for me. Oh my goodness. There's no doubt at all that there needs to be some investigations done. Modric off. Badal on, but this is not a good Croat side. They've been helped by some iffy refereeing tonight. There's no doubt about it. I don't like to be a sore loser. I don't like to be a sore loser. If we get beat, and we get beat fair and square, I can take it. But what I can't take is consistent poor refereeing from this Turk, who really wants to be hanging his head in shame because he cannot be pleased, or his two assistants, of a performance like that. 90 seconds of normal time to go. 2 under Croatia. I don't care. England have been robbed. In my book, they've been robbed by a referee who shouldn't even have had the courtesy to have refereed a match of this magnitude. I had my doubts about him at the start, and I have my doubts about him now. England have been robbed. Here's Maguire. Can England justify? That's got to be a free kick. Oh, it's time to get up! How many more decisions are we not going to get from this referee? It was a free kick! And he was 2 yards away from the incident. Oh my goodness! And now the Croats are on the break now. This will be controversially side netting. How many more decisions are we not going to get from this pathetic excuse of a referee? Oh my goodness! I am so incensed right now. How on earth can FIFA justify putting a Turk in charge of a referee of a match of this magnitude? 10 seconds of normal time to go. And knowing how, look, it'll only be an extra minute at the end. That wouldn't surprise me at all. The state of these officials at the end of the day. Here's Rose. Rose on the far side. England now looking for an equaliser. Away by Rakitic. Throwing to England, almost in line with the penalty area. Oh, we got 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Being an England fan, it's not easy. My job is supposed to be impartial, but when a referee is making so many poor calls like that, you have to feel frustrated. England will feel hard done by, but they've got 4 extra minutes. It didn't seem there was 4 minutes in it, but I suppose with Mandzukic milking it for quite a number of minutes, I suppose that's a fair call from the 4th official for once. Can England use that little lifeline to try and find an equaliser and take it to penalties? We'd take penalties at this moment in time, wouldn't we? As Rakitic goes forward, and now temper's blowing over, and Rakitic now, Dele Alli, you can understand why Rakitic was milking it for far too long, and he should be in the box because he scores all that nonsense. Absolute nonsense. The Turkish officials have been very biased towards Croatia tonight, and I make no secret of that. And I want them investigated, and his 2 officials and his 2 linesmen. I want them investigated by FIFA. Absolute disgrace to their profession and to the refereeing fraternity. They are such a joke right now. England do not deserve this tonight. They do not deserve it at all. We played nearly 2 of the 4 minutes, and Croatia have milked. They may as well have had 12 men on the pitch as far as I'm concerned. I am so angry. Another foul there, which was hardly a foul at all. Vardy making his point perfectly clear. Oh my goodness, I'm banging my commentary desk in absolute frustration. I can understand that. Well, I'm afraid, Iron Mitch, I've got no respect. Your team have played absolutely appallingly. Your team have been milking decisions, and I think the referee has been on your side from the word go. I've got no respect whatsoever. And the England players have got every right to feel frustrated. They have been done by a referee who should not be allowed to referee another football match ever again in my book, because he's been a disgrace to his profession. And I think there were better referees that could have refereed this much better. Not saying that to be cruel, I'm saying that in my humble opinion. Has Croatia gone forward now, it would be an injustice if it was 3-1, to be honest with you. We're coming up towards the end of the 3 minutes, and the 3 of the 4 minutes now. England do not deserve this. They have been done, and done on a refereeing decisions. Yes, they could have defended the second goal better, but let's not kid ourselves. They have been on the end of some rank decisions by a Turkish referee. In my book, should never ever be allowed to referee a match of that magnitude ever again. He's in a disgrace. Ali, that's handball. That looked a handball. For once he's given it. He's given it. Well, it's a shame it's come a bit late now. Disgraceful. Clear hands out there. I don't care if he was protecting his face. Clear handball. And the referee now needs to get on with it, because England haven't got the time for him to mess about here. Get him 10 yards back and let's get on with the game. We've nearly played the 4 minutes now. Just get him back. Hurry, tell him to hurry up. Can England get themselves an equaliser? The whole roof will lift off the stadium. The England fans behind that goal to our right, praying for a miracle, praying for penalties. This would absolutely knock the Croatians punch drunk if they were to equalise now, England. The whole nation is holding its breath. Can England do it? Rashford with the free kick, chips it into the penalty area. They all go for it. The Croats win the header. We've played 20 seconds over the 4. It's all over for England. And they do not deserve it. They absolutely and utterly do not deserve it. Dalic waves his hands in the air, but I'm afraid he's been out by some very, very questionable refereeing. England will feel justice has not been done tonight, and one has to agree. Mandzukic with a winning goal, but some of the refereeing throughout tonight was a disgrace. England have been knocked out in the most cruelest of fashions. They do not deserve it, and I'm sorry to say that Croatia have won in an unfair and a very unsatisfactory manner. If a referee is going to decide a contest of that magnitude, then how can he not spot clear Croatian cheating? Absolutely disgraceful. I'm not angry because England have gone out. I'm angry because of the referee. I want him investigated by FIFA and his 2 assistants. They were about as much use as a moat with one ear. England players in tears, quite understandably so. The Croats don't deserve to be there. They were outplayed for the first 45 minutes in my book. They were only helped by some controversial refereeing. The equaliser was a questionable one. Should it have stood from Perisic? Looked a high forward on Kyle Walker to me. That goal looked questionable, looked debatable. Nothing debatable about the winning goal, I will say that. But the equaliser looked very, very debatable. And very, very cruel on England. They don't deserve that at all. I feel so sorry. And I didn't want to end the commentary like this. Believe you and me. There are certain aspects of the referee that I need to get my... I'll be going on live, and I want the referee investigated. He has been a disgrace. An absolute disgrace. There are people on social media that feel exactly the same sympathy, but my anger is not towards the England team. They played an absolutely superb match and deserved to lead through Trippier. It was a great free kick, and what a sad way to see him limp off for injury. But I'm furious, and I want FIFA to investigate this referee, because let's be fair, that equaliser should not have stood. Should not have stood. It looked high, the foot looked high. I've seen lower foots than that penalised for high foots in the Premiership. Gareth Southgate, let's be fair. Well, you can be proud if you want, but you've been out by a referee, I'm afraid. And I haven't got any sympathy at all. Croatia will be congratulated, but they have won in a totally unfair and unsatisfactory manner. The Croatian players, but there was no way that was a 2-1 match. It should have been an England victory. If it had been a much stronger and much better referee, then we would be talking about an England-France final tonight and not a Croatia-France final, which is going to be the case on Sunday, and it will be thanks to some very sympathetic refereeing. The England fans, as they won, applaud their fans, and the fans applaud back in kindness. It has been let's take away the injustices for a second, and what a turnaround. Gareth Southgate will be proud. I'm absolutely proud of the England team. There were questions raised when he took over from Sam Allardyce, but he's proved the nation wrong. And I don't care, Josh. They've been helped by some very, very poor refereeing. Let's be fair, England were brilliant throughout this tournament. No one expected them, let's be fair, to reach the semi-finals, let alone being with a chance to the final. And they led for 68 minutes. I don't like your attitude, I'm afraid, Iron Mitch. You can rub it in for all you like, but the referee was a disgrace. He was in your favour for a lot of the time, and I don't like that, and I want the referee investigated for FIFA. If FIFA want to, I'm afraid if the referee has to look at his performance, and he needs to look hard at this performance, because I don't care if we had one shot on target. We weren't helped by some very, very debatable refereeing, and I will say that until my dying day. We were robbed. We weren't allowed to play our game thanks to some filthy football, and the referee didn't punish them at all. They should have arguably been down to 10 men when Lovren was persistently fouling. I've got absolutely no doubts at all in my mind, but I want the referee investigated. And it's a he's had a shocker tonight. Poor Jesse Lingard, he's down on his haunches. But England will play in the third place playoff, but in my opinion they should be in the final. They led in the 5th minute through Kieran Trippier. A great free kick. It got England off to an absolute flyer. We were playing some scintillating football in the first half. We didn't look under any real threat at all from the Croats. We led at half time. Everything looked rosy. Then the referee started making very questionable decisions. Should the equaliser been allowed to stand? It looked very high the foot. And, well, I don't like sour grapes, but I'm afraid it wasn't a header. It was a high foot. It should have been disallowed. It should have been disallowed for a high foot. And if that had been the case and the referee had been on his guard and on his mettle, we'd have been talking a long time ago about England reaching the final. But they've restored pride into a nation, Gareth Southgate's men, there's no doubt about that. And now the opportunity of finishing, the opportunity they have is finishing 3rd place. But Croatia have won a match they barely deserve to win. If you look at that, the referee has not helped tonight, and I would dearly want him never ever to referee a match of that importance ever again. In fact, I would go as far as to say I don't want to see him ever referee a match again. And if I was Gareth Southgate, I would be absolutely fuming, because the way the Croats went about it is absolutely, I'm absolutely incensed. But I've got to say, the belief is back in the England team, and who knows, the European Championships 2 years time, could we win it? The finals at Wembley. The Croats obviously elated, but they've been helped by some very iffy refereeing. I'll be interested to see what Gareth Southgate makes of it all in a second or two. We're going to hear from him before we leave you tonight. And there's a lot of people agreeing with me about the referee, which is good to see. Thank you very much if you are agreeing with us. And also thank you to all you people that have tuned in. I really couldn't do it without you. But the final is not going to involve England, I'm afraid to say, and I'm really sorry to report. And we all built our hopes up and hopes up, and everything, and just and England in tears. And it's well, I don't like to call a final with biasness, but part of me wants France to win now on Sunday because of the referee and the way the Croats have gone about their business and have put England out in the unfairest of manners. And I do seriously, I don't want Mr. Fekir to referee another football match of that importance ever again. And the players gave it their all. Trippier, you could see his frustration. He was injured. One or two of the Croatians, they did play acting. They did play acting, calm the referee, and the referee should have been stronger. when you get to the last 4, you get to a semi-final, FIFA have to look at the policy of choosing referees better, because this, let's face it, I was very much against his appointment for this match tonight, and I still am now, and I didn't want to be proved right, and I don't care. You've been out tonight, and I've got no respect for a team that's won in an unfair and unsatisfactory manner. Mr. Fakir, you should never ever referee a football match like that ever again. And as I was saying before, I think FIFA should take a long hard look at the way they appoint referees. He was not up to the challenge tonight. I knew he wasn't going to be up for the challenge. He did the European, and he did an absolute, and he had a poor job. Should have sent Sergio Ramos off in the final, didn't, and I'm afraid it wasn't to be for Liverpool. I'm afraid it wasn't to be for England, because the same referee who made so many rickets in the final of the European Cup made a huge ricket. Tonight, made too many rickets for my liking tonight, and it's cost England. I'm so frustrated, and we all had high hopes for tonight, and I never wanted to end the commentary tonight like this. Mandzukic was the match winner, but this equaliser has to be questioned. It's got to be questioned. And well, poor old Gareth Southgate, poor England. Was it meant to be? It wasn't. So England will play Belgium in the 4th place playoff, and England will fly home the day before the final. It's Croatia in the final against France. Again, you can hear live. Let's hear from a very disappointed Harry Kane.
10,000 England fans, incredible.
Yeah, it's tough. We're gutted, you know. We worked so hard. The fans were amazing. It was a tough game, you know. It was a 50-50 game. I'm sure we'll look back and there's stuff we could have done better, but we worked as hard as we could, you know, and it hurts a lot. It's going to hurt for a while, of course, but we can hold our heads up high, you know. It's been a fantastic journey. We've gone further than what anyone else thought we would have, so we just got to learn from it and take what we can.
It was a wonderful start, and after that you dominated. Was maybe that was your chance to win the game in the first half? Was the chances you created then?
I think so. We created some good chances, being 1-0 up. And yeah, look, maybe we dropped a little too deep at times. We didn't get enough pressure on the ball, but look, it's a lot of ifs and buts. Yeah, it's hard in these games, in big games. It's small margins, you know, and yeah, it went their way today.
What went missing in the second half?
Yeah, it's hard to say. It kind of, until they scored, we was always under the cosh, and then once they scored, we kind of picked back up again. So yeah, I reckon there's a lot we could have done better. But no, they played well, and they made it difficult for us. But yeah, it's hard to put a finger on it now.
There'll be so much pride there is back home in your performance. There'll also be a sense, I suppose, of a missed opportunity. Yeah,
for sure. Obviously, it's been great to get to this stage, and we know we've done everyone proud, but we wanted to go on, and we wanted to go on and win it, you know. We felt we was good enough, we felt we could have done that, but we've fallen just a bit short, and like I say, it hurts. I don't know what else to say, it just hurts.
But for this team, what have you shown building for the future? You're essentially a very young team, the youngest England have had at a tournament.
Yeah, it shows that we can be up here, you know. It shows that we can win knockout games, we can get to semi-finals. Obviously the next step now is to go one further. It's a great foundation we've built over the last couple of years with the gaffer. So yeah, we just got to carry that on, you know. We're proud of what we've achieved, but we want more, and obviously we're gutted we wanted more today. And we're sad we couldn't give the fans here and back home a final, but look, we have to dust ourselves down and be proud of what we've achieved, and then go again in a couple of years.
Harry Kane, thank you very much.
Well, Harry Kane there speaking to us. I hope to hear from Gareth Southgate before the night's out. He spoke well, and obviously he didn't want to mention the referee, but even I can tell watching the game on the commentary position, the referee was just a disgrace. Some of the decisions, and a lot of our listeners seem to be absolutely annoyed as well with with the ref as well. Absolutely Anonymous says, well done FIFA, well played, you've got what you want. JL Sim 25, FIFA is a pen. I don't understand what that says, but the ref is the scissors and the ref cuts through. I think the referee's had a appalling night. I think there's one contributor that's overjoyed, of course. We have to look at it from their side of things, but I'm afraid the referee should never be allowed to referee a match of that importance ever again, and I'm going to make my feelings perfectly clear on that in my World Cup Live, which is going to be on Facebook. So Russ and I'm absolutely, I mean, he's rubbing it in. Right, you've had your fun now. Your team have gone through unfairly. Enjoy your victory, because you're not getting. I just, it's one of those occasions where I want to see the French win. But Croatia there, and they're 2-1. That's the bottom line. But I'm perplexed and upset that England are not there. France played dirty, but they've actually played football and actually played some good stuff. But there's no way in the world that was 2-1 Croatia. It should and could have been an England win if the referee had been brave to disallow an illegal equalising goal for Croatia. And I'm not going to budge on my opinions of that. I'm not going to have my mind changed on that. That equaliser should not have stood. Not unstood. I'm absolutely convinced that Perisic had his foot high, and that should have been, rightfully in my opinion, disallowed. A referee chose, for whatever reason, Russia blood. I don't know why, but I think he should have disallowed the goal, and he didn't do that. And for me, that was a poor decision, and for that I blame 100% the referee for England's going out. I'm not happy at all. I won't. I'll be going on Facebook Live in about 10 minutes, but I'm so furious, and I want to let rip at the moment and give my opinions to people on there, what I thought of the match. I mean, I'm so upset that I'm not going to be able to cover England in a major final. But it's good news for Chris. He gets a second England game. Well, it's not good news. He'll be as just disappointed as I am, and I'm sure he'll have a few words to say in the coming days about it. It's just absolutely disappointing at the moment. We're hoping to, before tonight's out, to speak to Gareth Southgate. I'd like to get his opinions on what happened. I'm so gutted right now. We all knew. We all thought it was there. I've got to be honest with you. Part of me wanted it to happen, and I just really wished the referee just made the right decisions, and he didn't. And that's what I feel right now. I feel so sorry for England. I feel so sorry for Gareth Southgate. I feel so sorry for a group of players that have really worked their socks off and tried their hearts out over 120 minutes, and to be done on 3 or 4 poor decisions, and it's been consistent, and the referee's inconsistent. There were clear English free kicks that the referee didn't spot, and he was 2 yards away in some of them. I'm just so incensed right now. But when the dust settles down, and when England get back home to Heathrow in a few days' time, it's a job. I have to say, they've had a great performance. It was great all round. They were consistent, they were brilliant, and 2 years' time, well, I found one for you, Chris, the Turkish referee, and I'm going to make my feelings perfectly clear on Facebook about that in a second. So I'll tune into my Facebook Live, because I've got some really hard words, and I'm going to swear now because I'm going to be on Facebook and I'm going to say something. But I have to say, the English has been restored. Harry Kane is still online to be the top scorer. He's still got another game to go. On Saturday, of course, it's the third place match, but it should have been the final. It should have been the final. And instead, it's Croatia who got through. And I'm so disappointed. I'm hoping that we hear from Gareth Southgate. We've heard from the England captain. I'm hoping and praying that we hear from Gareth Southgate before tonight is up, because we want his opinion. The interviewer, by the way, for the Kane interview was Gabriel Clark of ITV. I'm so disappointed. I feel so disappointed for everybody. The players, the staff, they've done so well. The three at the back has done them so well, but there were several key refereeing decisions that the Turkish ref got wrong. I knew at the start that this was a bad appointment by FIFA to appoint 3 officials from Turkey on a match of this huge importance. Was not going to work out well. England, Fakir has got a reputation, as we saw in the European Cup final. He doesn't give English teams too much decisions. Should have sent off Sergio Ramos in that final, the Champions League. I really do hope and pray that he never ever gets another big assignment like that. He will never ever referees a football match ever again. I talked earlier on in the season about Lee Mason wanting to be investigated because he cheated Burnley against Arsenal, because he made some very poor decisions. But I think this referee from Turkey has topped that, I'm afraid, and I didn't think we could sink any lower criticising referees. I'm afraid to say that we have to, because I'm totally convinced that if the referee had given the right decisions, then there's no doubt about it, we would not be sitting here talking about an England exit. And it started so well. Kieran Trippier, everyone was euphoric, and England got off to the best possible start. But what it will do, Euro 2020 is the next target. We go out there and try and win that, and that's the important thing. But England, for effort and work rate, they were tired. This was the goal from Mandzukic. Trippier, well, he was found wanting there. He was always going to be outnumbered. A good header on. It's a great finish from Mandzukic. Stones should be quicker there for me, but he's so tired and so knackered. In the end, the ball goes into the right hand corner, and it's just so heartbreaking for England right now. I cannot express how upset and disappointed I feel that we're not in the final. It's a heartbreaking way to go through, to go out. And I am absolutely. But what Gareth Southgate will have done now is restored the pride back into English football, and proved to the world that he is the right man for the job, and he takes no prisoners. Gareth Southgate. We all thought when he was appointed some 2 years ago that he would be a yes man, another Roy Hodgson, a clone if you like, but not a bit of it. He's been an absolute revelation. And to get the team to the semi-final, that has to be a good thing. But yeah, we did switch. I will admit we did switch up on the winning goal, but before that, the referee was an absolute joke, and I still want him investigated by FIFA, because that refereeing performance was an absolute disgrace. And I'll make my feeling perfectly clear. But let's be fair. England have worked so hard, and there's so much pride to take out of it. We've still got another game against the Belgians, and revenge will be very much in mind for what they did in the group phases. There's no doubt about that, and if we can beat them on Saturday, that would be fantastic. And you'll be able to hear that on the JB Claret YouTube channel with myself and Chris, who will be doing the commentary on that one for you. So he'll have a nice sort of bonus at the end of a great tournament for him. He's been our star man in terms of that. I'll have the final, not the final I wanted to commentate on, France against Croatia, but it's the final that we've got, and let's hope we have a good night of football on Sunday. Kick off at 4 o'clock, and also kick off at 4 o'clock for the third place match as well. But well, what can we say? It's just disappointment, gut-wrenching. Everything just wasn't meant to be. Fan parks around the country, from Burnley to Birmingham, from London to Liverpool, it just wasn't meant to be. and there's so much disappointment right now. And well, it's cruel. It's cruel, absolute cruel, that we're talking about this right now. But there's a lot of people agreeing with me about the referee. I'm hoping to hear from Gareth Southgate before the night is out. There will be a live on Facebook as soon as we get it. Stay with us for the next 10 minutes, because we really want to get a sense of how the England manager's feeling right now, Gareth Southgate. It must be cruel on him. But there was no way that was a 2-1 Croatia victory. It is so disappointing. Croats go through, they're related obviously, but I want the referee investigated, because some of the decisions were made with too much to bear, and I want the referee investigated. I really do utterly want the referee investigated, because quite frankly he was an absolute disgrace. I don't care what Iomich says now. He was a disgrace, and you only won because the referee failed to punish your team with obvious three kicks which were not given. Your Lovren should have been sent off. Let's make that absolutely clear. I'm absolutely frustrated right now. I want the referee investigated, and I want him investigated good and proper, because that refereeing display was just an absolute load of cobblers. And I really do believe that the referee has cost England tonight. Yes, we switched off on the Mandzukic goal, but if he starts being a strong referee and starts punishing, he should have had... I mean, Lovren should have been sent off for 2 bookable offences. He got away with nothing tonight. He should have had 2 red cards. I'm absolutely convinced about that, and I want him investigated. He has been an appalling referee. We've had some poor referees in this tournament, but I'm afraid that Mr. Fakir of Turkey, you've just excelled yourself with the worst World Cup refereeing display I have seen at this tournament. And I'm not being English biased when I say that. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've commented on what I've seen. I'm waiting still to hear from Gareth Southgate. I want to hear from Gareth Southgate before the evening is out. I've got my brother now trying to annoy me, which is absolutely pissing me off, which is annoying me somewhat. Well, and I do apologise for the swearing, but you can understand why I'm upset. It's not the way I wanted to end the commentary tonight. We came into the commentary with high hopes and with great banter and great mood. Unfortunately, I'm having to finish the semi-final commentary so upset, banging my commentary desk. It's frustration, because you want the referees in big games to get the decisions, even the most basic decisions, right, and he couldn't do that. And that is my problem with the Turkish referee. For a match of that importance, you need the best Brazilian referee, you need the best Italian referee, you need the best German referee, you need the best French referee, you need the best Dutch or Spanish referee. You don't want a Turk, and I'm not saying this out of spite for Turkey, but he was not up to the level of a World Cup semi-final referee. He was not up to the task at all, and he was, with all due respect, the Turkish league is not as big as all the big leagues, and he could not, I'm afraid he could not do it. He didn't do enough for me as the referee. He wasn't strong enough, he wasn't consistent enough, and the only thing that was consistent about him, it was the fact that he was consistently poor. And I want him investigated by FIFA, and I'll make no secret of that, and I will not. And I will keep going on there. But the heartbreaking England players is there for all to see. I'm going to be out of voice by the end of this game, end of this broadcast. I'm absolutely convinced, and I'm convinced that England would have won if the referee hadn't have made the basic errors he made. Let's hear from a few Let's hear from a few experts. Jackie Oatley's down on the touchline with Glenn Hoddle, Ryan Giggs, and are very delighted, I would have thought, Slaven Bilic.
Slaven, you are absolutely delirious, and well you might be. What does this mean to you and to your people?
I mean, we are probably the smallest country that that's going to play the World Cup final in last, I don't know, modern times or 50 years. So it's great for us, for our country, and it's also good for all those smaller countries, for Wales also, you know, that you can, if you dream, if you have the character, and if you work hard, then the dreams are possible, you know.
Yeah, 4 million population, 14 times smaller than England. It is extraordinary. Huge congratulations. Ryan, from a tactical point of view, because you can take the emotion out of all of this, do you think on reflection there's anything that they wish that they'd done differently?
Well, finished the game off in the first half. England were the much better team in the first half. Should have been 2 or maybe 3 up at half time. Then you had that feeling when England don't capitalise on the chances that they had, that Croatia could potentially come back into it, and that's what happened. 1 goal changed everything. Modric started controlling the game, controlling the tempo, and after that Croatia controlled it. I still thought England may have a couple of chances with the players they had on the pitch, but no, huge congratulations to Slaven Croatia, huge character to come back.
Yeah, we came out of the traps really strong. We should have put the game to bed, we didn't. And at this level, you knock off for a couple of seconds like we did. It was a poor goal, second goal to give away. I think we could have averted both goals quite easily. But you know what, the nation has got to be proud of this team. They're a young side, they're growing. The game management, as the game went further and further into the depths of it, Croatia became stronger, and they had the experience to really, in the game management, to control the game in key periods. But you know what, those guys gave absolutely everything, and these guys here as well, behind the goal, fantastic.
Now, Roy Keane, your old teammate, did say at half-time that if England don't go on and win this game, they'll never forgive themselves. They're going to have time to reflect. But what do you think your coach, Dalic, said at half-time?
When we spoke before a game, I said that England's playing the system that no team apart from them is playing at this tournament. So it took us 45 minutes. They were really good in the first half. They didn't make a wrong pass. They were good character. They were very positive, and they played excellent. And we were a little bit in a shock, especially with an early goal. But it took a little bit of composure and patience for us. But in the second half, you were hoping that we're going to get tired. Towards the end of the game, it was us, Brozovic, Modric, Rakitic, they raised that game.
You forced us into a 5. You forced us back into a 5, and your fullbacks were spare. And we had to adjust ourselves because our 3 in midfield got stretched so far across the pitch.
Because we took the ball.
Yeah, but
we could play with the free in the first half because we didn't threat to with numbers and with the combination. Second half, when we get the ball in midfield and we start to dominate the midfield, you have to go back with 5. And your strikers, basically in the first half, they took every ball, they were slaughtering our back four. In the second half, Harry Kane, nothing. Sterling went off. Rashford came on lively, okay, but not in a dangerous area. So, I'm not objective, but we were starting to dominate in physical and in tactical points.
Oh, well, congratulations. You've got a final against France. Look forward to. I'm not going to remind you that you've never beaten them in 5 meetings. Forget about that. Enjoy tonight. Do you know what?
Well, I don't agree with Slaven Bilic at all. The England fans are still there. They're still singing. They're still happy. They're still this, that and the other. But I still believe, I don't agree with 1 or 2 of the comments there, but the referee, if he referees it right and lets England play the game, then we go through. And that's my opinion of what happened. I'm hoping and praying that we'll hear from Gareth Southgate shortly. I really am, because we want to, before we go, we need to hear from Gareth Southgate. Here he is now with Gabriel Clark.
I don't know. I mean, I think first half we were really good, and you know, we maybe could have got another. And at periods throughout the game, we had chances. I think there was a spell in the second half. You know, they got the goal. Their tails were up. We had to really weather the storm. We lost our way a little bit, and you know, possibly at that moment that experience of being ahead in a big game like this, and we were hanging on a little bit rather than trying to control the game. You know, great credit in extra time. We got some control back into the game and showed some more composure. Look, I mean, the biggest thing is that you see the supporters at the end and their reaction. That tells you what the players have given, not just tonight, but over the period. And I can't ask any more than what the players and staff have given.
It is the toughest thing to take, that you gave yourself the opportunity to win tonight, and obviously you did have those chances, especially in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think knockout football is fine margins, and when you have spells in a game against a side with real quality, then you've got to make them count. And you know, we probably needed that second goal early in the game.
All the players have obviously gone to the physical limit. Was Harry Kane 100% fit tonight?
No issues before the game. You know, I think by the end, of course, several players are out on their feet and moved down to 10 with Kieran having to go off as well. So, but again, that shows you everything they've given.
Was there a lack of experience to a degree in the way the match did map out? Was that a factor?
Well, I think we are where we are as a team. You know, we've come an incredible long way in a short space of time, and the experiences of the matches with Colombia, Sweden, you know, the whole thing is probably beyond where we thought we might be able to go. So tonight, in the end, we weren't quite there. But you know, the team will be stronger for that.
Is there anything tactically that you look at yourself?
I think we were throughout the game looking at how we might be able to stem the tide, but you know, really there weren't clear changes that we felt could improve the situation. There were times where our defending, we just had to, you know, regain some composure and start to play with the ball again. And I just felt there was a period of 20 minutes in the second half where we stopped playing and lost that bit of composure.
You've been there yourself, of course, as a player. What do you say to the players now about what's been achieved?
Yeah, very difficult, because as we reflect over the next few days, there will of course be a lot more positives, but tonight is so difficult for everybody to take. We're so close to you know, what was almost unimaginable at the start. So, but I go back to, for the players, they've got to look at the reaction of the supporters and see, you know, you don't get that if you haven't given what they've given and played the way they have.
You couldn't have given any more tonight as a team?
No, I think we've left everything out there, and you know, we'll look at the goals and the chances, but for sure I don't think over the 6-7 weeks of being together we could have given more than we have.
Gareth Southgate, thank you very much.
Well, he's very dignified there, but I will say this: I do honestly believe that the referee gives decisions and gives them in favour correctly, England are in the final. The referee was a joke, but Gareth Southgate, fair play, came out, was dignified, and we appreciate him there. Chris says would have preferred beyond Kuipers. He was actually the fourth official tonight, funnily enough. But I'm afraid that some of the decisions have been an absolute disgrace, and I'd like to see the referee actually investigated. But well, we all thought if England had won tonight, I would have actually played the whole version of Baddiel and Skinner's It's Coming Home. But unfortunately it won't be happening, because it's not the way that we hoped it would be, and it is bitter.
Away from the fact that they were the better team in the first half.
But I do apologise, but I'm bitterly disappointed, and but at least we're giving it our all, and that's all we can ask for. It's just a shame that the Turkish officials did not give it their all tonight, and I'm sorry to say about that. Right, that brings us to the end of our coverage tonight. It's been a long night. It's been 3.5 hours of constant broadcasting by my good self, and I need to hit Facebook in a second to give the referee a bit more stick, but I'd like to thank everyone that's tuned in tonight for your support and trying to calm me down when things got really tough. It was difficult, and I understand Chris's viewpoint now. Commentating on England is a stressful business, but it's disappointing. But on Saturday we do have England again on the menu this weekend. It's not going to be the final, I'm afraid. It's going to be the third place playoff, but an opportunity for Chris Whiteman to pay tribute to the England team when he commentates on the third place playoff. We play Belgium again, and with an opportunity of finishing third and settling the score, trying to get a bit of revenge for our group defeat earlier on in the tournament. That's from quarter to 4 rather, with a kick-off I think about 4 o'clock, but we'll double check that nearer the time. And then on final, and then it's the final, which I'll be doing commentary on France against the very lucky Croatians, and I'll be on the air about 3:40, quarter to 4, to bring you full match commentary of the 2018 FIFA World Cup final between France and Croatia. But I'm very sorry to say I had planned to say it's coming home tonight. That was my original plan to end the programme if England had got there, but I'm going to have to end it like this. I'm afraid to say football is not going to come home. Thank you very much for listening. From me, JB, enjoy the rest of your evening if you can stand enjoying it. I've got to lie down, hit Facebook, say my piece on the referee, and retire to bed because it's been a long night. Thank you very much indeed for listening, and we'll see you on Saturday. From me, JB, take care. Good night.